comrades, today is December 22, 2025, and the current time is 8:18 p.m. As with every year, the Institute will be preparing for the annual tradition of Operation Red Sky. Though the lead-up time this year is significantly shorter than years past, the Institute is just as committed to taking down the anomalous entity commonly referred to as Santa Claus. If a fellow comrade requests your help in this endeavor, do your part and assist. That concludes today's announcements.
この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。
Oh, I thought I fixed that thingy. Should be going away right about nowish, right? Do I have to press this? Okay, I think there we go. Do I really have to write that? Do I really have to post that tweet? Why would you make me? All right, sure, fine. All right, let me let me go open Twitter and let me post that tweet of yours. Because at this point, sure. What is your Twitter account? Tweet redeemed by, it's like Scooplers or something, right? Or is that not it anymore? Did you change it? Here's Anthos Skyos. Okay, there we go. Alright. There you go. Anyways, governors, good evening. How are all of you doing on this fine day? If I sound a little sniffly, it's because I thought I was sick and dying yesterday, but it turns out it was just a very mild temporary issue, and I am perfectly fine and healthy, as I am a beacon of prime health with no major issues whatsoever that could possibly deter me from reaching Canada this weekend. That's right, it's the final week before, it's actually the final 2 days before Christmas. So if you're a celebrator of Christmas, I hope you bought your Christmas presents, because your time is quickly running out. Also, hello Xanth and Ray, congrats to Ray for being first. Also, hello Funbound and Sun and Grimworld and Ziryu. I think that's everyone who said anything so far in chat, right? I think so. How are all of you doing? It's time for the final... Realistically, it's the final Rimworld stream of 2025, which is kind of weird to think about because I have been streaming Rimworld since essentially 2020, so it's been a very, very long time with this game. I have spent a huge portion of my life playing this game, not as much as some people, but at least a significant amount of my online presence has been Rimworld streams, and maybe I should start moving into Rimworld edited content because I've just been a little lazy. Also, hello there, Nakayuki on the other side. What if do you have a different name that I might be aware of, or are you new to the channel? Regardless, hello. We had a lot of new subscribers on the YouTube end over the weekend. I don't know if anyone saw it. I didn't post the analytics, but for whatever reason, the Star and the Hoi 4 VODs both popped off significantly. And they went, like, a lot of people were just going crazy, and like I don't know why those VODs popped off. It was weird. It was really strange and unexpected. Thanks Nakayuki for the follow on the Twitch side. So, anyways, hopefully you're having a good weekend regardless. Can I get a Star Sector tutorial? Star Sector is it's not an easy game. Just remember, it's gonna. Oh geez, what was happening here? When did we get it? Why are we under attack? Oh shoot, I didn't see that thing. There's a big old dino here I gotta knock out. For some reason, there is a Dimetrodon, which is right over here and demanding our sacrifices. Also, I think these two... This one was unwaveringly loyal, and this one I think we can try to recruit. So we're gonna reduce his resistance and, well, convert him at some point, and he'll join us. And I think we'll be fine with that, yeah, because he's never gonna break. I do want to capture him so we have another person who's really good. Do the tutorials. If you don't know how to do combat, make sure you do the I think you have to just learn how to fight, I think, is the main thing. If you're gonna run, make sure you know how to run away correctly as well, especially depends on your fleet. You have to know what fights you can take. Wow, our Stegosaurus actually fought off this thing, which is really funny. Huh. Good job, Stegosaurus. Alright, hopefully we can tend to that thing's injuries. So anyways, this is the last Rimworld, aka glorified Just Chatting stream for 2025, because obviously I will be... Tomorrow we're gonna do a poll, the last poll of 2025, and then I'm disappearing for almost like a week and a half. I basically don't ever stream on holidays, at least major holidays that fall in the middle, like something like Labor Day, sure, but something like Thanksgiving or Christmas, I generally do not stream, and so I won't be streaming Wednesday and Thursday this week, and I am basically gone all of next week because I don't return until New Year's Day, and I think that's a Thursday, but quite frankly, I'll probably be exhausted and don't want to stream either. So after tomorrow, I won't return until January 5. Isn't that crazy? I hope you will all remember me and you won't forget about me while I disappear for a whole week and a half as I go spend time with important people. Oh my god, that's a lot of money. Thanks. I don't want to. Why did I not do the TDS? Thanks, Xanth. Why'd you give me $30? Why? I assume this is your form of a Christmas gift, which I appreciate very, very much. But thank you for the $30. I will use that to get some nice sushi with Ray. I'll say that much, but I appreciate it. Thank you for your kind and generous contribution to the Institute and also the Oaken Ray Sushi Fund, because I've spent a lot of money this week on gifts for people, and I am slowly losing my sanity as I look at my bank account consume more and more cash. So I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Xanth. Don't worry, I will remember you when we eat sushi. I actually went to do some shopping today too, which was very interesting. So I'm going to talk about this a little bit real quick, and I've already mentioned my general area where I live in, so I think it's okay to talk about this, but there is I'm sure some of you have seen the news about like a Gundam store opening up in the United States. I am fairly close to that Gundam store, and so I visited that store today on my lunch break because I can. And I was like, wow, they had a lot of things that I've never seen before and are actually exclusive to these physical Gundam store locations. Like, these things aren't sold online, and only you have to physically go to this shop to get it. Now, I didn't take too many photos of it, but I was kind of pleased to see how much stuff there was. I didn't buy anything on Steam Winter Sale yet. I plan on buying French Fantasy 33, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and maybe one or two other games that have been on my list. Like, I think Ace Combat 7 or 8 was like on the list of things I want to buy. So, real quick, if I can find the photos, I will quickly show you what this cool store looked like, because I was like, wow, there's a lot here. Let's see. So, basically, yeah, if you don't know, they opened up a Gundam store. There's a lot of Gunpla type things. It's called the Gundam Base, and they opened up their first location in Chicago, or at least a suburb of, well, technically it's a suburb of Chicago is the best way I'm going to describe it. Let's just pull it up real fast here. So it looks like this, at least that's the interior of the store, and it was really cool to see because they have a lot of kits that I've never seen before. I'm trying to make sure that my reflection's not in any of these photos. But I was kind of surprised, like, how not super expensive some of these kits were. Like, look at these beautiful $61, I think these are MG, so master grade kits, so these are the high-end kits. But these are really nice, and they were really cool to see and behold. They had a lot of exclusive product. Like, I don't know, this pink one? I've never seen this one before. But it's a master grade Gundam Astray red frame recirculation color. So apparently, according to my friend, what it means when they say recirculation is that this product is specifically made out of recycled plastic. So that's what they mean by recirculation. So this is a recycled plastic colored Gunpla kit. And there's a lot of other similar ones that were like really unique. Like, they had some that are like, I don't know, they had this very basic Gundam base RX-782 with the special base color of blue and have like special stickers that was unique to the store. And I'm like, huh, interesting. Is that right? Okay, so my friend was explaining it correctly. Oh, that's kind of cool. Like, they recycled the runners and stuff. That's sick. I like that. I didn't take too many other like super crazy photos. The only other thing that really caught my eye was, I didn't know this is a thing that they do, but they make translucent Gunpla kits. which really threw me off. So if I've never seen this before, but here's an example of the clear color RX 782 Gundam with the translucent bits. I was like, that is so weird. I have never seen this before, and I don't know. I don't think I was just, like, really a fan of it. I didn't think, I was like, this is not something I'm super into. So I don't know. The only other thing that I thought was kind of interesting, and I found out this is also exclusive only to this store, or at least the physical stores, is that they make uncolored kits. So they actually sold this, which is just the kit that's uncolored and fully just white and gray, and you just paint it yourself. And I was like, I've never seen this before, but I was like, that's a really cool concept if you're kind of just learning how to paint plastic. And I looked on Amazon how much this stupid thing was. This thing was like $40 on Amazon. At the store, they were selling for like 13 bucks. So there is a significant markup that Amazon is charging, or at least the resellers on Amazon are charging for this item, which I was like, that's crazy to think about. Also, hello, Great One, how are you? So, I don't know. I just thought it was kind of interesting that this painting model is 13 bucks on Amazon and just ridiculously expensive at physical stores. I was like, I might be going to this store a little bit more frequently than I probably should be in the near future because of the sheer amount of different items that they had that really intrigued me. Now, the only thing is I have a bunch of kits that I probably should finish because there's some kits that are sitting on my shelf that I haven't actually touched yet, and I bought myself one brand new kit. I bought myself something called a Muramasa Kai or something. Let me see if I can find it. Murasame Kai HG. I think it, according to Google, I don't know. It was this box. Let me pull it up, and then I'll look at the people who are dying. Who's dying? It was. Let's see. It's what's happening? Oh, one of our guys has gone. Oh, one of our prisoners has gone berserk. That's fine. We'll deal with him in a second. It looked like this, and I was like, "Ooh, this looks kind of cool." It has like some jet wings and like guns, and I think it had a katana too. Yes, it got a beam saber, and I'm like, that's sick. So I was like, this is the kit I want, and I think it was like $38 or something along those lines. But it was a perfectly reasonable price, I think, for these kits. I normally build, if I build a kit, I'm usually building HG because I am not good enough to be building anything better than that. I am a very bad gunpla builder. I was talking to some people about this, and I take forever putting these kits together. I'd like take, I don't know how to describe it. When I build a kit, I am usually going to end up taking something like 6 hours to build something because it takes me forever to actually get this thing done. And I'm usually doing something like watching TV or watching anime or watching a streamer or watching something while I'm doing it. And so I'm just easily distracted while I'm doing it. It's just kind of like a thing I do in the background. Keep the hands busy and also get something to listen to because I can't just be alone with my own thoughts. Otherwise, the horrifying realization of my sins of the past will come and haunt me forever and ever. So that's kind of why I take forever with the gunpla kits and I don't buy too many of them, but at least it's fun to have, right? At least it's cool to have the option. Oh my gosh, we can make our own heraldry. That's right. I think having 7-Eleven exclusive kits might be a little much for a store. It was kind of busy, surprisingly. But there was no line to get in, although they were sold out of like a lot of the Gundam TCG stuff. So I didn't actually realize how popular the Gundam TCG stuff was, but they were sold out of all the starter decks. And my understanding is that they were basically being purchased by people who are trying to scalp them on the internet. And I'm like, yeah, you know what, that sounds about right, I think. And I was like, that's unfortunate. What is our house colors? GSC had a gunpla kit for Wonder from Rebuild of Evangelion. Wait, let me see this. Okay, wait. For what this price is, that actually doesn't look that bad. You have to make all puzzles. Yeah, no, I take forever. I like taking my time and procrastinating. Also, hello, Lana. How are you? Well, that is for $70. That looks pretty good considering how much plastic is involved with this. Huh. Actually, the real question is, you know what I should do? If I had a resin printer, I just realized I could just print the Gundams. That's right, I could just print my Gundams. No, I probably wouldn't do that because that's a lot more. Because obviously Gunpla is like injection injection plastic, like a mold injection type thing rather than like a resin print. But it is kind of cool looking at these kits. I do think Gundam is very fun and interesting, but obviously I don't build them myself just because I'm generally quite lazy. And I take forever to build these things, but you know, that's just a me thing. If I give Ray a Lego kit, she's done in like a day. But then she gets me a Lego kit and I take months to build it. To be fair though, the one she gave me is very, very big kit. Also, what should our house colors be, since now we're in the medieval era? We gotta give ourselves cool colors to really show off how awesome we are, and how I think we're called the Red River Cove, so I think we need to have red at least as one of the colors, and the other color we gotta figure out. Meow. American cat boy. Why do we have a cat boy showing up? Meow? You want me to nya? Nya. Oh wait, that's an emote. That's funny. Is it because I'm slow or because I procrastinate like crazy? It's because I procrastinate. That's literally what it is. I am a massive procrastinator. I tend to put things off if I can put it off for some reason. Don't know why that's the case. It's just kind of what happened. Ooh. I just realized I don't know why. Oh my god, it could be a lobster. Is there anything that really screams like caveman? Why is it upside down? An anchor? Also, is the YouTube stream dying for anyone else? Fleur woman. What does this quest mean? Quest no longer available. Oh, I must have finished the quest. Okay, we're gonna be a bow. Alright, that's fine. Meow. Meow. Okay. There's our heraldry now. Oh, because I'm no longer hostile, I am now friends with them. Oh, okay, that's fine. Listen, Crony couldn't beat the Catgirl allegations, okay? I'm not a Catgirl though. Like, where's the cat? There's no cat ears. Himeji Castle's never been built since, hasn't been. I'm slowly getting through it. Not even attempting at this point. No, listen. Where do you see? I don't have the. I guess I have to switch models. Alright, hold on. I think it's really funny that redeem says only on the pixel model, and then everyone just ignores it and presses the button anyways. I think it's just like, even my own instructions get ignored. Everyone just ignores whatever I have to say. Everyone just comes up with their own reality for some reason. There you go. Oh. Yeah, Goshin-sama, Okairi nyashai. Oh. My god, I can't even do that voice for too long, otherwise I'm gonna go... I cringe myself out of doing that, and I don't wish to continue making that voice. Isn't that the horrifying part? What am I gonna do with these prisoners, by the way? I think... this one I wish to recruit. This one is unwaveringly loyal. Oh, there's a siege camp. Oh, jeez. Hello. Oh, that's a fat stack of people coming our way. All right, we got to deal with this. Well, I guess we have no choice. So whoever's got a weapon has to go fight this off. So we did give everyone a weapon, so everyone is a fighter. However, I'm going to restrict... I'm going to restrict Ray from participating because she's the colony medic. And I think Arani will also not be allowed to participate. Everyone else has to fight, though. And we'll see if we survive. So anyways, does anyone have any crazy plans for Christmas, or are you just mostly all staying home and enjoying the nice, cozy winter holiday where you can be away from all the stress and pain and suffering? Oh, that's right, I forgot Steve has brain injured. That's a problem, too. And this thing has no munitions. Alright, let's just see how we can do this. So, Rare Pickle has a great sword. Steve has this thing, and then Sun's gonna stand right here. Actually, we'll swap out Sky Peon right over there. And then Garm's gonna stand right here, and let's get Garm gunning them down. And hopefully we can survive this, but it's gonna be tough. But thankfully Garm has the shotgun of justice. Oh. It's rough. Let's see what we can do. As long as they're in range, we can do what we can, but Sky Peon is holding the line as best they can. Oh, Sun needs to pull back. Uh-oh. Alright. Come on. Oh, their Garm went down too. Alright, Infidave's trying his best to hold the line, but they're becoming a little too many. There we go. How goes many people? Well, at this rate, we're probably gonna die very, very quickly, and maybe the caveman story might have an early ending than we had anticipated. We're gonna get Arani and Ray. I don't know why Arani wasn't drafted, but Ray should also be out here too. So Ray's here to fight. How are you doing, Immortal? Hopefully you're having a good evening. We're doing our best, but there's a lot of them, and we don't have a lot of good defenses. Oh boy, it's a rough day. Ooh. Maybe we should start building a proper castle fortification system. All right. So anyways, a lot of people are injured and dying. This one, I think we'll just finish him off if he's not willing to help out. And then you, and then let's have you rescue, undraft, undraft, undraft. And then let's see if we can get everyone triaged and not dying. So let's see, you should rescue Infidave over there. Rare Pickle, can we get you back to base? And then Z Opposer's tending to self, and then I don't know where you got that funny medicine. I never oh yeah, no, I never get the embrasures correctly done. I probably should start using embrasures, yeah. I will at some point. Feels like the one time I could make some fort. I know, but I've already committed to my funny circle fort. My very bad circular fortress design. Honestly, I probably could just set up like an exterior area for this. It's on the 27th in New Mexico. You're going skiing? Does it snow in New Mexico? Does it actually snow in New Mexico? I never really thought about that. But if it does, that's interesting. Why do I have 22 Glitterworld medicine? Can we haul that real fast? I don't know why we have that much Glitterworld medicine hanging around. Anyways, we gotta triage everyone before everyone dies, because there's a lot of dying people here. So Ronnie, start tending. So let's tend to Sky Beyond first, who's on the first leg of dying. And then let's tend to them. Yes, it's like snowing in Texas. Fair enough. I never really thought. I do know it snows in Texas. I've been to Texas in the winter, and it's interesting. I like San Antonio in the winter. But I think I just like San Antonio in general. I would not mind going back to visiting San Antonio. San Antonio is a very nice area to be in. Okay, okay, so Ray is okay, but we gotta get Garm out here. Who else is dying? Rare Pickle is over there. Has 4 hours. Okay, so let's have Ray quickly tend over here. Meow meow. Thank you for the follow, American cat boy. I'm not sure how much of a cat boy you are, but hopefully you enjoy being a cat boy, question mark. Get Garm rescued here too. Also, these should be medical beds. I don't know why these aren't medical beds yet. Alright, can we get Rare Pickle alive, or is Rare Pickle gonna explode? Now, Ray is tending without any medicine because I didn't have time to get medicine. It might be enough. Alright, survive. Survive. Alright. He will live. Alright, so now we can get him rescued, and he should be fine. Alright, so you're fine, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine. Steve's the only one who's injured, but Steve refuses to get tended to, and beyond that, it's okay. Alright, we'll live. Of course I want to see the Alamo. I used to be super into Fate, and I was like, I wrote a entire fan servant that was Davy Crockett, I think is what it was. The defender of the Alamo or something stupid like that, and it was amazing. Oh, I was gonna use it in like a Fate style RPG campaign, but I never ended up participating in it. But a lot of my other friends were in it, and it was really cool. I'm taking to the caves. Have you ever been in like a cave, like legitimately? It's spooky. Like going into like a deep cave. So in the US, there's this thing called the Merrimack Caverns. I want to say it's in like Kentucky or Tennessee, and we went in there, and it was kind of cool being in that cave. Also because we had to have like the little helmets with the lights, and we were going obviously through a predefined path. But I honestly don't want to ever really go into caves. Primarily, oh geez, can we not use the funny medicine, please? I'd rather not use that. Let's use the other medicines. I don't want to use the Glitterworld. We have herbal meds that are much better. Also, we gotta make sure these people are fed. My YouTube feed sometimes gets filled with those caving videos of like, oh, and I make this joke all the time, but you know, like this, you know, like Bob Dylan is a 31-year-old doctor with a wife and 2 children, but his favorite hobby is to go caving, and his favorite cave to go to is the Devil's Anus Point in, you know, Hellhole, Alabama. And so he decided to go on an adventure with his friends, and he went down the wrong path. He was navigating through the birth canal, and instead of ending up at the birthing hole, he ended up in the pinch of death. And then he died because he wasn't able to escape. And it's just like some of these people have some very interesting desires to go explore some areas of, you know, that maybe they shouldn't be exploring. I get that it's for the thrill of the adventure. I'm like, some of these people probably shouldn't be doing these adventuring, you know? Maybe they should stop. Such a San Antonio way. Let's see. The weirdest thing is the sorcerer closed one was only 0C. Well, because Texas probably isn't used to things like the cold. Remember when Texas had that whole Texas freeze? What is happening? Why are shamblers approaching my location? Who's dying? Oh, Steve's dying. Remember that whole thing about the Texas deep freeze and people were dying because their electricity grid could not handle just any of that stuff happening? Anyone else remember that? Like, the Texas grid just couldn't handle the deep freeze and couldn't, yeah, it wasn't winterized is the right way to describe it, and bad things happened. I'm suddenly reminded of that little thing. I mean, I get it. Like, if your state's not used to it, it can happen. Just like how sometimes people don't understand, like, how to drive into winter. It's not just, and that's just not restricted to Texas. That's just every other, that's literally every location ever. But I think it's just kind of funny to think about. Also, holy cow, we just do not have armor. Okay, so Ray is gonna survive. You know what I forgot to do? We need to hook these toilets up to specific beds like this so that people will use only their unique toilet and not everyone else's unique toilets like this. Hello, Goldenrod, good evening. You missed me talking about Gundams because Gundams are pretty cool. And I went to the store and bought some Gundams. I bought a single Gundam kit. Also, we gotta build all this other stuff too that I've been like putting off. I don't know if we have any more light dinosaur fur, but we gotta go hunt down more dinosaurs. We gotta just get some clothes going. We need to get some armor going. Some more plate armor made out of the finest steel that we have available to us. The moment's note, power companies didn't want to pay to winterize and the state government didn't want to pressure them. And then you have the whole weird thing where they refuse to get connected to other coasts. Wait, do they really want to just have their own independent grid? That's so dumb. You know what's really funny? I remember reading another thing similar in the realm of electricity, but in Japan, after the Fukushima earthquake, right? Or tsunami or whatever it was, the Fukushima nuclear disaster. It's really funny because it's also not funny, I guess is the best way to describe it, but Japan is a unique country in the fact that they have two separate power grids. Essentially, one operates on 60 hertz and the other operates on 50 hertz, right? Because when they were setting up when they were industrializing, the western half of the country got their equipment from the US, and the eastern half of the country got their equipment from Europe. So, you know, Tokyo and East operate on 50 hertz, and Osaka-ish area, you know, and all that operate on 60 hertz. And so when the Fukushima nuclear disaster was happening and they were having electricity problems, they actually couldn't just move the electricity from you know, say Osaka to Tokyo to help make up for the loss of the power plant. They could a little bit and part of it, but they couldn't do all of it. Like, there are transformers that allow them to maneuver from 60 hertz to 50 hertz and back and forth, but it wasn't able to completely handle the entire strain of that, you know, power grid request. And so it's very interesting to like learn about how different countries have their electricity grids handled. Because LA's going to get a storm. Ooh, is that like getting a storm? I like winter storms. They're kind of fun to just chill. You have an excuse to stay at home and not do anything. I just really hope, actually, I should double check. Is it going to storm in my area in about 4 days? Weather.com. Let's see what weather.com says for me. What kind of weather am I getting in about a few days? Because I'm about to make a pretty big cross-country drive in the very near future. All right, what does this say? What is the 26th? A Friday? All right, it's just vaguely rainy. That's fine. Well, good luck, LA. I hope you survive. If you die, I will remember you in spirit. I will remember you in spirit. I think, you know, then use will be your client next. That's probably not a good way to think about it. At least I know how to drive in winter. I like to think I'm a pretty good winter driver. I like to turn off that, you know, traction control and just skid around in the neighborhood and drift. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, I can take off the maid outfit. I'm free. I'm free from the maid outfit now. Yes. Look at that. Now I can look my normal green, white, and brown self. That's right. I look like a tree. Isn't that great? Also, I just realized we should probably build another one of these primitive. Well, we should probably try to get some proper water hygiene. We could learn how to make what you want to call it. We can learn how to make proper water systems. So we will learn how to make a proper water system right here. That's right. We are smart enough to learn how to utilize the wind. Oh wait, that doesn't make sense. If I do double water well like that, I need put the other one somewhere else. Over here's fine. Meow, indeed. ABS was a mistake. What do you mean ABS was a mistake? Also, don't forget to watch the stream on YouTube so that the YouTube gods will bless me, because I don't know what happened, but for whatever reason, YouTube was like, hey, yeah, it seems like you need a boost in people watching your content, so the Hoi 4 VOD and the Star Sector VOD got a lot of people subscribed, and it was really weird. Let me just show you some real quick behind the scenes stuff real fast. That is not the window I'm looking for. Because I thought it was kind of interesting. I don't know what makes YouTube choose what VODs to push to people. Especially because I don't make a lot of, like, edited content. But real quick, when I was, like, looking at the YouTube stuff, like, you might have noticed I didn't stream on the 19, 20, or the 21st, and that was about, like, some 300 something views. And I got a bunch of subscribers on the platform because it decided it needed to push these two VODs in particular for some reason, which was really funny because they had like almost very little viewership and I was actually streaming it, and then the VODs were like, here you go. I'm like, oh, okay, thanks YouTube. Random side tangent. Also, there's a psychic droner over here that we have to deal with. The problem is that a lot of our pawns are kind of injured and can't really go out there and deal with said thing, so we gotta worry about that. YouTube likes Paradox, and I think Hoi 4 and just strategy game content in general sometimes, because they lend to long form videos that the platform enjoys, right? The platform really, it's really funny because the platform is slowly. There was a point when, what is this song? Why is it so loud? There was a point when YouTube preferred like super like longer videos, like you had to get like 10 minutes was your minimum mark, and then now they want to promote shorts, and now I think they're kind of slowly pivoting back towards long form content. YouTube is not the place for short term like haha funny garbage like I don't want to say garbage content, but like short form funny content anymore as it used to be. That's more taken by things like Instagram Reels and TikTok and I guess YouTube Shorts, which is kind of what they're trying to pivot towards. But that's why you don't really run into things like, oh shoot, I forgot about the prisoners. Oh shoot, yeah, we gotta. Hello, can I take care of the prisoners, please? Oh shoot, Ronnie's the only one who could feed them. Yeah, let's feed him. I need this one to survive, please. I was trying to keep this one alive so I could strip him of his organs, but I kind of forgot. Whoops. Did we feed him? Please? Oh, we don't have any meals because I bet our colony cook is... Okay, so Ronnie, I'm gonna have you cook real quick. You're very quick at this type of thing. Just go over there, make a few meals, and quickly feed the poor fella. We'll light this up in a second. You need to light this up. Okay, so we gotta do this real fast. Simple meal. Veggies. We're not quite in a death spiral. We'll survive. Okay, so then you need to quickly go over here. Feed this one. Because everyone else should be able to feed themselves. Like, Ray can go out and get food. It's not a big deal. Okay, the prisoner's fed. We just gotta keep everyone else fed. Okay. Austin style fictional statistics at YouTube. What do you mean by Austin styles statistics? Usually what I watch on YouTube nowadays is primarily things like those documentary type things, like Fern and Hoog, and occasionally I'll watch something like and then also things like the Intel Report and the Situation Room. I used to watch a good amount of Armchair Historian, but I know he just announced that he's essentially retiring from YouTube. Part of the issue with making videos that's like history-based content is that YouTube really doesn't like anything that possibly implies things like violence, and you know, if you say the funny mustache man's name, you can very much assume that you're gonna get demonetized. And I think that was the big issue that he was having, because he was making really high quality content, but because his content was historical and often did include things like discussing things like you know, the actions of those individuals, he got demonetized. And I think that's why he was like, I'm done with this platform, bye. And so I don't blame him for just wanting to be done with it all. I would be frustrated too if my livelihood was constantly threatened by a omnipotent, not even omnipotent, like an all-seeing AI that makes all the decisions. Bro, their straight up algorithms broke. I'm not even surprised. I mentioned it the other day, but there's a whole thing where they were like, hey, about the employment surveys on video games. What do you mean? Wait, employment surveys on video games? How does that make sense? Crash Bandicoot, they do very good. Oh, Bandicoot, they do very good video game food videos. God, I would love to do video game food videos. He said Voldemort's name. Yeah, he said Voldemort's name, exactly. No, I'm not gonna sanitize it. No, if you say things like Hitler and Nazis on your YouTube videos, there's a very high chance that you actually just will get demonetized, especially if you say it like relatively early. And then it also depends on the nature of the subject. And I think that's kind of why a lot of like content creators who are focused on history stuff have to be have to walk that fine line of getting demonetized and actually making decent content. Like, you have to be very careful, right? Bandicoot's great. So I haven't seen either of those channels, but I might need to give them a take a look. You're gonna type that there with the 9-hour 9 vid. I don't know what that 9-hour 9 vid is. Literally walking around video game worlds and counting people and figuring out employment rates on a doc. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, algorithm's busted. Right now it's medical vids like cleaning teeth and nails. One to more requests and now all you're getting. Yeah, if you watch one YouTube video like that, that's all you're gonna get. I'm sorry, your feed is screwed. My feed is a little screwy right now because when I was doing art streams and a lot of creative based streams, I would have to find, you know, music playlists to put on stream. And so now my YouTube feed is just a bunch of like music things, like here's a jazz music playlist or a jazz pop or video game or Korean video game music mix or something like that. And I'm like, but occasionally there'll be a couple. Sometimes like a video will just get stuck on my feed, just like telling me, please click on us. Like there's been this train video that's been stuck on my feed for like 2 weeks now, just begging me to watch someone take a train ride in Japan. And I'm like, I will watch this at some point, but it's like, I don't want to watch it right now. You know what I mean? I think it's kind of, I also do like watching like travel vlogs and stuff like that. Like, oh, these people are, you know, on this ridiculous sized cruise ship or this Japanese ferry, or they're in Korea and they're going to this restaurant type thing. It's like, I like that type of stuff. I don't know who the historical painter is. Let me look that up. The historical painter. Oh, okay, that's what you mean. Okay, that's, yeah, you see, that's not something I should Google. I know what you mean. Got it. Yeah, it's things like that. Like, again, if you're making anything history related, you got to be a little careful, that type of deal. I think most of the time video game streamers don't care that much, but you know, it is still something to keep in mind, because I know for a lot of people, this is essentially like their livelihood, to make, you know, videos on historical content. I think historical content, people need to understand, like, it's not gonna be a comfortable topic. Like, realistically, like, this type of thing is going to be full of discussions that people aren't going to want to have, but the reality is that it is sometimes a discussion that has to be had. Put you on the FBI watch list. I mean, at this point, I'm probably on some kind of list. The question is, what kind of list am I on? The FBI's most wanted? The VTubers most wanted? The... I don't know what other most wanted thing I could come up with is. Who's our wardens? Steve, who's mentally damaged. Probably might be okay. Oh, he's got a life-threatening infection. He'll be fine. Aren't War Thunder players on... I mean, probably, but I stopped playing War Thunder a while ago, so I don't think I'm on the War Thunder player list anymore. Oh yeah, I saw that they were adding infantry, and I was like, that's interesting. Maybe one day I'd take a look at that. What? Hold on, I forgot. What does that say? The 160th VTubers list? You say that, and then my wife's gonna come out and, like, hunt you down, probably. But I think it's more like I'm one of the top 100 cutest with the coolest voice VTuber. That's how it is. My voice sounds a little wrong, by the way, because I know I'm like a little stuffy right now. The Vatican wants to light you up with silver bullets, but you're on a freaking samurai pill. I don't know what that means, but good luck. If you're a werewolf, then I don't know what to tell you, man. You do what you want to do, alright? If the Pope wants to hunt you down, I ain't here to stop the Pope. In fact, I'll probably help the Pope. I'll be like, right there, Your Holiness. Right over there. That's right. I will sell you out to the Pope. What's his name right now? Pope Leo? Okay, yeah. Pope Leo. The first all-American Pope. You know what's so funny? The Pope isn't, like, he's not only American, but he's Chicago. He's Chicagoan. And he loves that Chicago deep dish pizza. A man after my own heart. He loves that deep dish pizzeria. Straight from the Illuminati's or the Geno's East or the Moretti's or the whatever pizza place. What are my pronouns? I'm a guy in real life, but I use a female avatar because I want to, but you can just use he. He is fine. What weapon does the Pope use? A crossbow? Get it? I get it. I get it. Don't worry. It's all about them. It's all about the Pope papacy type thing. I do think it's kind of interesting that, like, we now have an American Pope, because I remember, like, when the papal thing was going around, like when they were trying to figure out who was going to be the new Pope, it was basically, I didn't even think that we had an American Chicago Pope, because all the people that I knew were talking about, like, oh my god, there's a chance we might have a Filipino Pope. Wouldn't that be crazy if we had the Filipino Pinoy Pope? And that's like, everyone was talking, it was like, oh, he's gonna win, and then it's like, they became the American instead, and I'm like, that's funny. I thought that was really funny that we ended up with, like, a Chicago Pope. Now I can be like, see, if the Pope says that the Chicago pizza is a very normal thing, then I can be like, yeah, see, I told you I'm not crazy for liking Chicago deep dish pizza. Incredibly based, by the way, thank you. Let's see, sometimes it takes the strongest man to be the cutest girl on the internet. That's how it works, right? We all know it's true. We all know I'm right. Oh, so we gotta smoke all this potatoes. Also, we have a lot of... Okay, hold on. Oh, I forgot about this. We were trying to make a lot of vodka for our alcohol, which will need some... Oh gosh, we have to do a lot of other things we gotta fix. So I know I was also trying to get some plumbing done as well. So let's get some basic plumbing. Am I what? Did I see the video of the guy handling the Pope pizza? I did not, but that sounds amazing. I need to know what the Pope's favorite pizza is. I need to be, and then you know what you gotta do for marketing. If you own a pizzeria, here's what you gotta do. You just gotta be like, what is, especially in the Chicago area. If you own a pizza shop, you're just like, what's the Pope's favorite pizza, and then you just put it on the menu. The papal pizza. Listen, if he likes Hawaiian pizza, that's on him. Then at that point, I think he might be a heretic, but I'm not gonna say anything about that. We all know pineapple pizza is heretical. Okay. And that my opinions are always the correct opinions when it comes to pizzas. As we all know, I have the best pizza opinions. Ignore everyone who says otherwise. Use female actors and characters in games not weird. Ever seen the Monarch's girlfriend in Venture Brothers? I don't think I really watched Venture Brothers. I know what it is. It's like that cartoon with the 4 dudes, right? I know one of them's like blonde, muscular, like a ponytail, but that's all I really know. I never really watched the show myself. Doctor Girlfriend. Friend, let me see what this is. Is a secondary tertiary agonist, suit partner, supervillain, husband, the monarch, now boss. Okay. Huh. Voiced by Doc Hammer. Oh, interesting. Calling Hawaiian pizza when using Canadian base is a really heretical thing. I think people just like, listen, it's just the way people like. Some people do, I kind of get it where people want like a sweetness and sourness on their pizzas. My taste buds have been slowly more accepting of various flavors over time. I mean, prime example is I used to never really put citrus on my soups, but I kind of been awoken to things like squeezing that lime on top of my pho, and it becomes a little, you know, tangy and refreshing and things like that. So, you know, taste buds maybe don't necessarily change over time, but your taste in food might change over time, and I think that's a beautiful thing. Embrace trying variety in food. What was I doing with this building? I cannot remember why I tore this apart. Oh, I think that was supposed to be the alcohol room, actually. But I ended up moving it down here for some reason. Maybe I need to move it back up there. That's why I tore it down, right? This is supposed to be the booze room. Oh. Oh, shoot. Yeah, I don't need this then. Huh. Uh-oh. Awoken. The Dalai Lama likes pizza. He always orders one with everything. I mean, hey, look, if you're the Dalai Lama and you have all that pull, you can eat whatever you want. Maybe in his past life he was Italian and he really enjoyed a nice, delicious pizza. Okay, for all I know, that's how Tibetan Buddhism works. Oh man, we really got to figure out our food situation. Our food situation is a little rough right now, so hopefully we can get this. Oh shoot, I don't want this. This is a very ugly plumbing. Can I hide that? Let's deconstruct that. I would like hidden plumbing, please. I don't want people to have to see my pipes. There we go. What was I talking about before this? Anyways, what should we stream for tomorrow? I was looking at what games I could possibly play, and I'm kind of torn. I will put it up to a poll, but I think right now the poll is going to be Rimworld, Frostpunk 2, because the new DLC that I know Immoral provided. Something wintry themed, I think, is what I'm kind of looking for right now. I know last year for the Christmas stream we played Me-Side, that one horror game about the crazy blue-haired girl Mita who really likes you, and I think I was like, that was kind of neat. The Long Dark. This is like that's that first-person survival game that I know was mentioned many times before. I mean, I guess the Long Dark would be fine, right? Hi, SBO. How was raiding? Did you survive the raid? Let me take a look. Did you win? Let me do the shout out. Oh, thank you for doing the shout out. Hopefully you survived, SBO. Hi, people from SBO stream. Hopefully SBO did a good job and didn't wipe his team and actually contributed, unlike me who wipes the team all the time. Oh, okay, got it. Hey, you never know. Have I ever showed the clip of where I wiped the whole party when I used to raid? I think I was raiding E4S and I just completely misclicked the button and I just got the entire party wiped, and it was very... Let me find it. I like showing this clip off every now and again because it's still so funny to me. Let me find the bloody thing. Where'd it go? You will get to experience how I royally screwed up. I think it's like my #1 clip too, which is so funny. Let's see. Search by... Oh my goodness, this website is clips top of all time. Oh yeah, hold on, I got it. I found the coolest clip of all time. Here we go. This is me playing Final Fantasy 14, and this is why I shouldn't be allowed to do this.
I'm glad I addled. Can I stand near him?
We were doing E5S back in the day. And I may have pressed provoke. And then I got everyone murdered. And the reason why this happens is because when I play 14, there's a couple buttons that I like to click manually instead of signing it to a hotkey. And so I pressed provoke instead of pressing, I think I meant to press fight or flight. And I was like, whoopsies. Also, hello Rachel, how are you doing, comrade? And that's why I actually haven't raided in forever, just because I just don't have time anymore and I just don't bother. I think Boo Bear and you murdered each other even a couple times. Hey, you know, at least if you're murdering each other equally, then it's fine. Right? It's fine. You know what's really funny too? I actually got out of that habit because my mouse has so many buttons now, but now I need to get another mouse as a copy of this because I don't like any other mouse. I mentioned it before, G604, my favorite mouse, and I will never use anything else ever again. This is like the mouse for me. This thing fits so nicely in my hand, and I want more of it. Speaking of computer stuff, I almost bought a Mac Mini today until they sold out because for whatever reason, Micro Center was selling them at like $400 a pop. And I was like, this price has to be insane. It's like a Mac Mini 16 gigabyte. And I was like there has to be, like, it's a really good price. And I almost wanted to buy it, but it was like sold out by the time I was ready to order the Mac Mini for that price. I was like, oh, no, trust me, it would have been totally worth it. What happens if the mouse dies? I don't know. I'm just gonna buy secondhand off of eBay, which I think there was people who are selling them for like $120, like lightly used, I think is what they were trying to say. So I was like, I thought about it. Yeah. No, don't judge. Just accept the fact that it's totally worth it. The controller is such a pain, but much better than the keyboard. Too many things to bind to keys. I mean, I think that's perfectly fine. Final Fantasy XIV is really good of a game for playing on a controller because they designed the game to be relatively compatible with controller-based setups. And I think that's also kind of one of the biggest issues with the game, where they try not to have so many different keys or like actions in the game anymore because they don't want to have too many buttons that will confuse players. And I forgot to feed the prisoner and now he's dead again. So I am just never recruiting these people because apparently I'm really bad at keeping prisoners alive. One of these days I'll keep the prisoners alive, but apparently that day is not today. We're gonna move all the booze barrels over here so that we can track them a little easier. And they're near the kitchen. Probably better to have them there than near the archery place. Yeah, something like this is probably fine. Yeah, kind of like how that looks. Okay. You played a controller before learning to touch a keyboard. I mean, that's also, I think most people are generally like that. They kind of grew up with a controller, then learn how to use a keyboard as they grew up when they finally became real gamers. Right? Oh, I forgot. We gotta deal with that mech thing. I think that's causing significant issues with the psychic drone, so we're gonna pick a few people to go out and on an adventure. So we're gonna take, let's see, Steve's having a, okay, so let's take Zeoposer and Ray, who's missing a lot of digits. Holy cow, it just gets worse and worse every time I look at this thing. And let's grab Rare Pickle, should be fine. Yeah, I think, and let's get, oh my gosh, Skypion has like no legs. Oh my gosh, Garm has no leg either. Holy cow, everyone's missing limbs. How did we survive? How have we survived this long? We really shouldn't be alive at this point. All right, where's Garm? Let's get Garm a new leg. All right, let's get Garm a peg leg. Better to have a peg leg than to have nothing at all. All right, let's do that. Let's also have Arani do it. Yeah, we sacrificed all the limbs to get this far, so we'll keep going. Let's get Garm that new leg, and I think we'll take Zeoposer, Ray, Sun, and probably Steve, and that might be enough, I think. Maybe we'll take Infidave instead. Okay, I will take Infidave. All right, let's go. We gotta go on this quest. Form caravan, targeting this thing, and we're gonna send in Z Opposer, Ray, leave Arani behind, take Infidave, and I think Skypeon's probably fine to go with this. Leave Sun behind. Take Sun. No, actually, don't take Sun. Skypeon, and then we'll take the big Stegosaurus. And do not take any that medicine. Take the herbal meds. Take the hay. Take like 200 of this. And it's really weird because smoked veggies don't count as meals. It's really... So you actually can't eat that while you're traveling. I don't understand why, but we'll take... I guess that doesn't count either. Huh. Is the YouTube stream just constantly dying? I'm like looking at the YouTube stream and it just seems like it's just dying constantly. Or maybe it just says like encode... It says the encoder keeps failing. So if anyone is watching, please let me know. I do keep dev mode on, and that's primarily because I use so many mods that there's a very high chance something is gonna break every single time. So it's just easier for me to have dev mode on to make sure nothing breaks. And also because I don't like waiting for them to pack things up, so I just press send instantly. Kablam. Call it a day. Easier. Yeah. Is it a little cheaty? Maybe, but it's I'm a little lazy, so it's fine. It's fine. Worry not. I definitely know that I'm not struggling on the Twitch end. The Twitch end isn't losing anything. It's just the YouTube end that seems to be struggling a little bit. Maybe YouTube's just dying today. And thank you, David Moresco, for following on YouTube, I think. Yeah, caravans are a little janky. That's why I just prefer to automatically do things, not have to worry about it. We also got to get the rest of this built out. I think we don't have enough hides for this, so we're gonna take this out of something else. Okay, let's pause real quick. What do I have large quantities of? I have a large quantity of human leather. Great, okay. So I guess we're gonna make this out of... I guess we're gonna make this out of... we have medium dinosaur. I guess we'll use medium dinosaur fur. That's fine, let's do that. And let's go deal with this fight. Okay. Okay. Oh, we're being ambushed. Okay, so we're not even at the destination yet. Alright. I guess they want to die, so... This poor guy named Hendrix has chosen death. He's, He wasn't a very smart fella, I think. I guess we can capture him. Is he unwaveringly loyal? I guess we'll find out. Alright, let's just capture the poor guy. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, continue on our merry way. Listen, if he didn't want to die, he shouldn't have attacked me. Oh my god, I can be free from the maid outfit. I'm free again. Look at that. I'm my normal clothes. My eye is itchy. I cannot wait. Tomorrow is my last day of working, and then I'm free for the holidays. I can't wait. 2 weeks off where I can just chill and relax and not have to worry about anything significant other than getting to Canada safe and alive. That's the only thing I have to worry about. It's great. Also, I need to get this statue that we have to make. A Hisui's form, I think, is this thing. Nope. Alright. I don't know what this thing they're looking for is. I think we need to make a statue of some kind that I haven't built yet. So, time to pull out the art thing and get working on that statue, which we'll make out of... I think we have a lot of limestone, so we'll do limestone is fine. Clear all, limestone is fine. But yeah, so anyways, I need to figure out like what we're gonna stream tomorrow. I know Immortal said Song of Six, which is also an option. Long Dark actually might be pretty good. It's $10. Actually, it's $12 if you want the story mode as well. Actually, because I already own certain games, I can actually get an even steeper discount. Well, this game is a lot of, I don't care about the Apocalypse bundle, but I think the game plus the Wintermute storyline. Huh. What would you be doing if you're not sitting in a chair all day for work? You're bored out of your mind? Time to start bugging your bosses for work so that you can really show off how much of a real go-getter you are. Want to play Survival Storyline? I don't know. I guess we'll find out if it's something I want to play. Maybe I'll run the game by Ray first and make sure she's okay with a game like that, because it does take place in Canada, which is kind of interesting. Like 4 people in the office? Well, I don't know then. You gotta find some way to ask them for something to do, right? The other option was maybe we could also play like more cozy games. Town to City's been on my list of things I want to stream at some point. What's the no part? The no, I shouldn't play it? Or no, there's no one to bug at the office? Oh, okay, fair enough. Is The Long Dark considered a cozy game? Is it really? You know what? I will say, there's one game that I cannot wait to get so that I can stream it. I have been eagerly anticipating the release of... how do I pronounce this game? PVKK. Kanonen Kommandant. I said that in every wrong way possible. This one has been on my list of things that I don't know why this website is so I don't think I should be trying to play a video, but this one here I've been looking for. Hello, Kahila. Yeah, this game that I cannot pronounce. I don't know why Steam is super laggy. That's really weird. But let me translate.
Planetenverteidigungskanonenkommandant.
Yes, that one.
Planetenverteidigungskanonenkommandant.
Excellent. Thank you, Google Translate. So I kind of want to play that when it comes out. That's going to be a little bit of time, so that comes out until I think Q3 2026. Yeah. So I guess if Ray's okay with The Long Dark, then maybe we can do The Long Dark. And I think it'd be kind of interesting to play at least a wintry survival game, although I don't usually like playing survival games in general. I think there's a bunch of other ones, like Northgard's a wintry game. Yeah. Yeah, it's mostly in terms of motion sickness, which is because it's a first-person survival game. That's really the main reason. That's why I'm asking. Because I want to make sure you're going to be okay. Yeah. Speaking of which, this will be a winter survival in about in like one quadrum, which I'm not sure if we'll actually survive that because we have not enough clothes. I think everyone's gear is starting to deteriorate and everyone's slowly losing their minds. So that's another issue that we have to deal with soon, because even Ronnie's gear is like being worn down. We got to start making more clothes. We just don't have enough people to manufacture more clothes on the regular basis. We're gonna have to make more parkas. Whatever we can get our hands on. A lot of cloth. I'll have to make on leathers, I guess. Yeah, if we can do like that, that'd be fine. You got an 81%. Ooh, congratulations on passing the exam. It sounds like you did a pretty good job. 81% is a pretty good score. What is that? That's like a, I don't know what that's considered nowadays. Like a B or a B minus. Regardless, that's a really good score. B plus. Is that what I don't know what the grades are nowadays, because when I was in school, the grades used to be like, you know, like 100 to 97 was like an A plus, 93 to 97 was an A, and then it basically like the gradient was every 10. That's how bad it was a long time ago. Okay, well, it should be fine because it's not like the Outer Wilds where there was a lot of upside down flipping inversions. It's just we're walking around in the snowy winter wonderland and trying to survive. All right, maybe Long Dark will be tomorrow. I think Long Dark's like $10, so it should be fine. Yeah, I know the spaceship game made you sick. I like that spaceship game a lot, but I also understand that was not for you. The Long Dark. All right, Long Dark tomorrow. Well, okay, let me rephrase. We'll put the Long Dark on the poll tomorrow, and if it wins, that's what we'll play. Okay? I promised a poll, so you will have a poll, and that's how we'll decide what to play. I may have also been considering modded, what's it called? Zomboid. No, I don't really want to play Rats tomorrow. I don't really want to play Rats tomorrow. I would like to do other games, even though I haven't played Rats in a while anyways. You haven't played Rats in a while either. I guess there's also Minecraft, because, you know what's really funny? So, you know the multiplayer Minecraft server that we're running? So one of my friends has been playing on that server, and they've been progressing really hard on the progression, right? The quest book. And oh my god. So they started messaging me about having issues because they could not log into the server, or every time they tried to log into the server, the server would just crash. It was weird. And I tested it, so like I logged in and I was fine, but as soon as my friend logged in, the server instantly crashed. I'm like, okay, something is going on in his base. So I teleported to his base when they were logged off, and it was fine. And then they were able to log on and it was fine. But then it crashed again moments later, and we found out what was going on. There was a specific villager that for some reason, because I sent them the crash log that they found, and that one specific villager just crashed the game by existing. It was so weird. Oh shoot, I forgot we arrived at our destination. We gotta deal with this. So anyways, it was really weird that the game just kept crashing whenever they were trying to do anything. And so what ended up happening was I went on while they were... Okay, let's drop this now. And so I just ended up... like killing the villager for them, and then everything was fine and dandy. It was such a weird experience. Also, we gotta go kill this thing. What are we fighting? Okay, so as long as we just sneak around, we're fine, right? Okay, so we're just gonna do exactly that. We're just gonna grab everyone here. Let's just go deal with this now. Art for final stream of the year? What do you... I mean, we could do an art stream for the final stream of the year, but I'm not sure how much people want to watch me attempt to draw art, considering how bad I am at art. Because you get your favorite Digimon. Why? My art's terrible. I actually haven't done art in a hot minute. I can tell how long it's been since I've done art. It depends on how much stuff is on top of my art tablet. And right now there is a decent amount of stuff on top of my art tablet because been a little lazy. All right, let's go deal with this thing. We're just gonna sneak in here, smack that door, trying to avoid those turrets. I mean, we could just smash the turrets, but these there's some mech birthers in here, and I don't really want to be around when this thing births a mechanoid. Skypion is moving super slow because I forgot Skypion has no leg. All right, where is our dinosaur? All right, so how about this? Why don't we have Skypion ride the dinosaur? That's probably easier. Okay, then we're just gonna sneak on in here, and I think we can just smash this, right? Perfect. They don't even realize I'm in here. Oh, just kidding. They know I'm in here. Okay, but they're not gestating for another half day, so I can probably get rid of this and then run. So that's gonna be our plan. We're just gonna smash this down and run. What happened today? This thing's range is what? Okay, so as long as I just stay out of sight, out of mind, I should be okay. Okay, just gotta get away before the mechs get birthed. The intrusive thoughts on the bus almost won. What is the intrusive thoughts? Yelling at fellow passengers? Okay, there we go. I'm gonna have you quickly grab that. You pick that up. And you pick that up. Okay, maybe not the steel, that's fine. Alright, let's get out of here. Alright, we got what we came for. Because bad manners. The fellow civilians who don't know common social graces. Okay, how do I capture this fellow? Okay, so I can't just capture him. That's weird. Oh wait, I just realized. I think can we use the heraldry? How do I grab him? I can't unless I knock him out. All right, we're gonna punch him in the face a couple times. Okay, switch to fist. Attack. All right, and then carry. All right, then we're just gonna carry and leave. All right, fantastic. Let's carry and get out of here. Okay, then we're just waiting for the remaining to get out. They kept playing music on speaker and the bus driver got annoyed. I never really understood that. Like, I don't understand why people like to play their music loudly in public. Just seems like a very... Like, the whole idea is that I think they want to show... I don't know what it is. Like, it's just intruding on other people's desire for nice, calm, uneventful ride in public transit. Like, why do they bother? I don't know. I definitely think it's really annoying and it's obnoxious. You ever watch videos of people on the New York subway? Apparently, I feel like every time I see a video, it's like the New York subway is like a lawless wasteland where people just are... I don't even know how to describe it. Like, they are just in... It's like a wild rave or party down there all the time where something chaotic is happening 24/7. And then you go look at a video of public transit in Asia, and it's just calm, quiet. People are sitting down on their phone, maybe lightly talking to one another, and then or they're reading a book, and it's fine and it's well behaved. Oh, how I wish that could be the case in the United States, even though I understand that's not ever realistically going to happen. Truly a tragedy. Okay, we gotta find a way to clean the rest of this. I wish the US would have that. I wish it too. It is annoying. Sikahila understands. Alright, after Steve's done eating, we're gonna have Steve clean the room. Alright, time to clean this up. This entire dining hall needs to be purged of all of its nastiness. Not seeing Rush Hour Japan. I mean, I'm not seeing Rush Hour Japan, that's true, but at least Rush Hour Japan is still quiet. For the most part. Right? You ever see videos of, like, the New York subway? People are, like, having dance-offs in the middle of that thing, and they're using those handle poles as, like, to do breakdancing and all that. I'm like, why? Well, first, public transit. Thing is, like, it's funny because I think public transit in the US, in some areas, is actually fine. It's just the way it's designed that I think is the biggest problem, right? So one of the biggest things I always complain about is that a lot of places like to use like spoken hub design for public transit. Chicago's a pretty good example of this. If you ever look at a map of Chicago public transit, you cannot go from suburb to suburb directly. You essentially have to go from suburb to the city, and then you can take another line out of the city into the suburb. And technically buses are supposed to fill that gap. But even the buses are so few and far between that it's generally not even worth it. And that's a really big problem. I think more interconnected system like how New York Metro operates is a really good way of like all this interconnected transit working harmoniously. So there's a lot of different options. Oh gosh, there's just no light in this colony. This colony is just dark and sad. Why do I have an eyeball here? Who's missing an eye? Did I rip that out so someone else could have a fresh eye? You know what we gotta do? We really gotta get a Skypeon, like another lung and another leg. I feel so bad for Skypeon. Hold on, let's get you a leg. You need a leg. I'm gonna just give you a. You're missing a right leg. I'm gonna give you a peg leg. The US has the best jazz battles on the subway. I mean, jazz battles on the subway sound kind of funny. You hate that we went to Japan sometimes because it just reminds you how bad our public transit is. I know, it's not just like Asia in general just has really good public transit. Your visit to the metro was very calm. I also haven't been in New York in forever, so maybe it's different now in New York. I had this experience because you may be able to sense you're kind of quiet like chaos while your friends on the internet search you out because you have a soothing aura, according to them. Have I shared such an experience? I don't know about anything but being a calm person. I am a person that simply exists most of the time. Whether or not that's calm or not is up to interpretation. The dude decided to sit behind you play his awful music. Oh gosh, it's even worse. Should have just gotten up and sat somewhere else if he's going to be obnoxious. Sit near the bus driver. The bus driver will protect you. You wish the Philippines had good public transit? Well, actually, oh, that's right, because the Philippines is very car-centric, right? I remember, because I know there's another Filipino in the chat sometimes, Infidave, who talks about it, and it's like, I know there was, like, instead of building a proper public transit network in Metro Manila, their solution is just, why don't we just add more highways? And I think that's just so funny. They really just follow the Texan strategy of just add more highways, just add more stacked elevated highways instead of building more, like, a proper, you know, train network, or even a tram network would do really good. But they're like, nope, more cars. And, like, what's the public transit in the Philippines? Like a jeepney? Then there's ordering a ride directly to your door, then seeing you standing there clearly in your work uniform, they drive past you and cancel the ride. Wait, what? I've never seen that before. I guess it depends. Is that an issue you've had before, Evrio? Remember confrontation while you don't turn around and said, can you not? Yeah, I think at that point you might want to just, should have just moved away, I think, sometimes. What happened is, oh, jeez. That's really unfortunate. Dang, they canceled your, oof. They probably thought you weren't going to tip them, and they're like, ugh. They're over the train to build the highway. Yeah, God. Listen, it's so bad. I hate the fact that public transit sometimes gets sacrificed in the name of cars and highways. It's like there really should just be more public policy that encourages quality trains. And we're like just not having like, hey, wait, oh jeez, I hope you were able to still get to work. That's really unfortunate, because blasting that audio. I know, but sometimes like you just gotta pick a fight. You gotta know when to just like pick your fights and just leave. I know you were comfy already. I think it also just kind of depends too, like where there's not a lot of like space. Like the US has so much space, which is probably like, oh, we'll just build more roads. Whereas a country like Japan just has not enough space, and they're like, it's more, they know it's more efficient to just have public transit. I think in more denser areas, it definitely makes more sense for public transit. Like you can see New York has a decent amount of public transportation options versus something like San Antonio or something, or like Dallas, where it's a lot more spread out, technically. Hello, Arani. Good evening. More roads. I know more roads don't literally don't work. I'm well aware of the phenomenon where it's like you add additional roads, the road gets less dense, or like the traffic gets less dense, so then more people start driving on it, and now you have even more cars on the road. Yeah, we tend to talk a lot about public transit here, which is very funny to me. China's trains that go through buildings is just pretty cool. It's not just China. I'm pretty sure Japan has the same thing too. I know there's like that whole I think in Osaka or something, there's like that one tower that has a train track running through it. You don't want to move near the back because of stinky people. Oh, you're already sitting near the front. Gotcha. And they decided to be obnoxious. Maybe you gotta start putting on headphones or something. Near work thing, but I got sent home early because the power went out. Oh, jeez. So you got that? You still got to work with transit, and then they still sent you home early. Oh no. Bus and subway are good. Actually, you know, I remember seeing something recently where it was like China decided they were gonna carve out through an entire mountain to build a highway, and I was like, this just is such a weird idea to me. China, like, as much as people harp on China for being super authoritarian and, you know, very restrictive on your rights, I will say they sure know how to make some pretty cool, massive mega engineering projects. Like, it's very reminiscent of when America used to do some of the coolest public, you know, it's back when like the US used to do all these great mega engineering projects. China's the one doing them nowadays, and it's kind of honestly beautiful to behold at times. Like, isn't there like, hold on. Let's see. You had to chastise some people another day because of the bus or because of public transit? They're not very good, and a lot of them are just there because they need to build something to keep because their entire economy basically operates on building more and more things for the sake of building things, right? But for me, I think just looking at it, it is kind of interesting to behold. Like, you know, I like looking at mountain-based stuff, but then you see like the highways that they're building in the mountains, and it's like, but why? Right? And it's like, hold on, I'm trying to find an example. Hold on. Like, I get China's super mountainous and everything, but then you see like some projects where it's just like, I don't understand why this had to be built, but it's kind of cool to look at. You know what I mean? Hello, Sakana, how are you, comrade? Oh, fishy swimming in. Oh, look at all these fishies. You're all looking very delicious on top of rice. Because you're all sushi now, right? Nice, that's what we're gonna say. Yes, how are you, comrade? How's your stream? Hello, Echo you and Heel. For those of you who don't know, I'm Professor Kashiwa Yukinora. Most people call me Oak. I play funny strategy games, and right now, yes, I'm playing Rimworld. Although, just as an FYI, a lot of these Rimworld streams kind of turn into very glorified just chatting streams where Rimworld kind of plays itself in the background and I yap about something random, and right now we're talking about public transportation systems because public transit is a very fun topic and also a very silly topic in the current time that we live in. Also, I gotta pick a new pope, which I forgot about. Let's assign that to Arani. Congrats to Arani, you get to be the pope. Yeah. Well, I don't think it's... I know it's depressing in the sense that we don't have high-quality public transit systems in the US, but I think it's also just fun to talk about, like, what options there are for what transit could be in the future, or what kind of projects other people are doing right now. Can I look at the Buenos Aires subway map? Sure. Bueno Ares subway map. Like I said, that's kind of the reason why I like playing games like City Skylines, because City Skylines for me is essentially a public transit map simulator, and I think it's a lot of fun thinking about how I can make really cool public transit systems. Okay, what am I looking at in the Buenos Aires map? I mean, it's a map. Also, to answer your questions, you know, if you're playing Rimworld on lower difficulty, it's a valid approach to play the game. I play on like medium difficulty, a modified medium difficulty. I usually play something like Strive to Survive, but with modified settings. I mean, this map looks fine. But here it is. Here's the thing I talk about, like the whole hub and spoke design, where you look at D, and oh shoot, it is dead. I forgot to turn it on. I always forget to turn it on. There you go. It should work now. Like I can see it goes from D to whatever here, and then it all enters like a centralized point, and then from there it can spread back out. It is kind of neat though that they have this line here that goes perpendicular to the main lines, and that also provides, like I said, that inter-suburbal connection. I don't know what the right term for this is, but I like that. Hello, Youth Boy. Welcome aboard, comrade. Welcome to funny Rimworld shenanigans. Oh, but here's the thing I always thought of, I was crazy about, like, some of these highway, like Chinese highway infrastructure projects are just crazy to me. Like, I don't really understand the purpose of building the highway this high up, you know what I mean? Like, I think, like, I get, like there's a cool turnaround here, but why do they have to build, like, because I know it's mountainous and it's probably cheaper to build above than to carve through the mountains. But there should have been an alternative route that they didn't have to build through some of these crazy junctions. Like this, like, oh my gosh, this looks ridiculous. But it is very beautiful to look at. But when I look at this, I'm like, this is the type of stuff I would have built in City Skylines like 10 years ago when I barely knew how to build roads. And China's just like, I'm gonna build it anyways, because they have the money to do so. But I would just, I am not a fan of this, right? Because look at that, it's just carving through the mountains, then you have like all these interchange like exits and everything. It is just, yeah, like if this gets hit with an earthquake, they're all dead. This entire thing is collapsing. But I mean, that's the same thing with like any other place. But I think if an earthquake were to hit LA, right? LA's highways are not nearly that high. It's probably a lot easier to rebuild if something catastrophic does happen, and the load they have to deal with is not nearly as bad. Something that tall with the amount of load that has to bear, oh, it would just, the damage would be catastrophic. Now, obviously, I'm sure they took that into account and are probably not building that in a earthquake-prone area, not anywhere near a fault line, because turns are expensive, difficult for fast trains. I mean, yes, turns, you don't want a lot of sharp turns for high-speed trains, right? Like, it's not all very gentle curves, and that is very much what we saw was a road network rather than a train network. At least an makes you wonder, hold on, sorry, I'm trying to read chat, because like, I'm reading two different chats, remember? Makes you wonder if someone do a project and told a single amount of time, use particular amount of resources necessary for, I mean, that's also possibly the case, because we have to remember I mentioned this before, a lot of the Chinese economy is essentially functions off how much construction can we do. Like, that is essentially most of their economy, right? At least in earthquake-prone areas, we are more resilient buildings. I mean, that's true too. Like, Japan, LA, San Francisco all have public transportation and highway, and they're designed to withstand a certain amount of earthquake, you know, stresses, right? But anyways, I like how they look. I also am well aware that some of these projects are maybe not what I would consider a high quality projects, right? It is a project that functions. Also, we gotta capture this prisoner. I forgot about this one. I'm gonna try to capture them and recruit them. Also, I forgot Skypeon's kind of bleeding out over there, so maybe we gotta deal with that in a second. So we'll have, I don't know, Arani, congratulations. You did this thing. We're gonna have you, so that's gonna be tended. And let's quickly capture this fella here. Why are we not capturing them? He's not a slave. He should be a prisoner. Take him to bed. And we'll feed him. And then he'll be fine that way. We also got rid of these corpses before I forget. Okay, feed the poor guy. Okay. So anyways, yeah. Trains are cool stuff. Wouldn't you agree? I love trains. That's why I love playing City Skylines. I wish I could show you how bad my public transit systems in City Skylines are, because you would be so disappointed. Speaking of, did I make any progress on the MC train? Kind of. The train functions. I was working on the station last stream, and we did make part of the network, but the problem is I don't know how I'm gonna build the whole network all the way down there, because I don't have I need to design a train that can automatically lay railroads down, so I don't have to bloody what's what I'm thinking of, manually place all the different train bits that I need. And so something, yeah, tofu train. My train network in Minecraft is a tofu dragon. That's not even a funny joke. That's not even a joke. That's just how it is. It's so funny. My Minecraft train network is a tofu drag. But you know, I think eventually, I think China will learn their mistakes. Maybe, hopefully, about cutting corners. Like the reason why the West has such very strict construction codes. What's the saying? All those codes, all those regulations are written in blood. Because something happened that made someone write down, this is how we have to do things, so we don't have a repeat of whatever incident caused like a certain amount of deaths. So maybe one day they'll learn from the mistakes of the past, and that's the hope. Also, hello there, American Catboy again. Well, you sure like to meow. One of these days you'll pick up City Skylines. You've gotten more low system and cover City Skylines more style. Are you gonna get City State 3? I'm not terribly like I don't care too much for the city politics for the most part. I do like it sometimes. For me, it's okay. It's the way I think of it like this. City Skylines 2, I've always mentioned this, but City Skylines is more of like a city garden builder, where once you get enough resources, you're just kind of building a beautiful city and trying to manage the beautiful flow of traffic. A game like SimCity is definitely much more focused on the socioeconomic politics of being a city mayor, where it's not just you have to think about like your different strata of population. See, I think SimCity kind of falls between like that city-state SimCity, then City Skylines, in terms of like how much of the game is like sandboxy versus like really honing in on certain aspects like welfare and public services and whatnot. Very much getting City State 3. Yeah, I already wishlisted it too. So that's kind of like the way I think it. Like, what I do like games that have that type of focus, right? But it really depends on what I'm in the mood to play. Sometimes I want to play a game where I'm more focused on building a beautiful city, and other times I want to play a game where I have to figure out, all right, which public service am I cutting so we can fund the mayor's next birthday bash type of thing. At that point, you should also honestly just play Tropico, because Tropico is actually a really fun game. I highly recommend it. You like games where you don't have to think? I don't know what to tell you then. I would recommend you play something like... what's a game where you don't have to think? And has the good physics? Oh, okay. It's very... I do like... Listen... Why do we live if we don't live for the pursuit of beauty in the things that we create? Right? Why must we gaze upon a simple monochromatic gray box when we can embrace beauty in our base designs in Rimworld? Ignore my Minecraft base, which is basically like monolithic gray cubes. Oh my gosh, I haven't played Peggle in forever. Peggle's a pretty good game. Honestly, you could just probably play something like Cookie Clicker. That game you don't really have to think. Cookie Clicker, or what other games exist that you don't really have to think in? Left 4 Dead, League of Legends. Let's see. Vampire Survivors. Truck Sim. Yeah, Truck Sim's a good one. Oh my gosh, I haven't played Truck Sim in forever. I kind of do want to play Truck Sim again on stream. I know there's a lot of DLC that's now on sale, and I've been kind of wanting to come back to American Truck Simulator because I was like, oh, I know I'm behind on a lot of DLC, but they've added a lot of states since I last played. Like I think they're really getting close to getting all of the Midwest down. So I know they added like Iowa and Louisiana recently, and I'm like, it's only a matter of time until they add Illinois, and I could basically identify every single highway. And things like that. I know Texas was like, I think Wyoming and Montana and Texas were like the DLC that were coming out when I stopped playing the game. Well, Louisiana's kind of south Midwesty. Technically so is Missouri, but Arkansas, yeah. It's because it's like it's in the middle of the country. I mean, it's more south, but Louisiana is kind of close. I guess Missouri is more Midwesty. I don't know. Kind of depends on your interpretation of Midwest. I've never actually played Needy Streamer Overload. I think at some point I probably should, but never bothered. I mean, you're chasing games pretty much stuck in the area that require heavy mental investment, like Dwarf Fortress, Victoria 3, Stellaris, Victoria. Oh, you'll fit right in here because, good lord, we have a good amount of people who play Victoria 3, Stellaris, Victoria, Hoi 4, CK3. God, I think like my second most streamed game is Hoi 4 for Pete's sake. I know Garm was also recommending like a game or two that I'm trying to remember. Oh, Garm was recommending that I play what is it? Workers Resources Soviet Republic, the city builder. I kind of like the game, but I also haven't bothered buying any of the DLC. Actually, you know what's funny? You know how sometimes we have people who talk about Terra Invicta? You know what's really funny? So that game is finally coming out of early access. Guess what I got recently from Hooded Horse, who is publishing that game? They sent me an email saying, hey, here's a key. I'm like, Yeah, now it's unlikely I'm gonna play it on stream, but I kind of want to give it a shot on my own personal time, and maybe if I like it, I'll play it on stream, but it's a very, very unlikely thing that I'm gonna do, because I know that game is just like it's a wacky experience, and it's not for everyone. Oh, Skypeon is dying. Did we save this guy? Okay, we gotta feed him more food, right? Come on, we gotta enslave you at some point. Let's have a Ronnie feed the poor guy. Yeah, let's feed him. Also, can we unload his gear? I don't know why we're giving him a bow. Let's haul these out. I'd also like to strip. No, let's see. So you can keep. Okay, get rid of the bow. And then let's also haul that out of here. Perfect. We sure not need to share a lot of film. I mean, probably, like I said, I play a lot of strategy games primarily. It's kind of been my shtick for essentially forever. I do like playing some other games every now and again on stream. It's something I've been kind of slowly leaning into. Like, we sometimes play Minecraft. I like Zomboid. A lot of other games I've been enjoying, like, Hooded Horse sent me a key a while ago for a game called Super Fantasy Kingdom, and I've been enjoying that game a lot on my off time. But I haven't really played it on stream because it just seems like such a silly game that isn't I wouldn't consider very streamable, but it is very fun to play on my own personal time. Now you mentioned Factorio is unrelated, but you heard. Nice Enfield, you have to build your own factory, get gear for the characters. Sounds interesting. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Factory games, I think, have been a genre that has been gaining more popularity, especially because now there's a lot of them, like Shapes, Factorio, Satisfactory. I know there's a bunch of like fantasy themed factory games nowadays, which are very fun. And like I said, I'm a sucker for the genre, but quite frankly, I think I could just be fine with Factorio forever, and I would be perfectly okay with that. Am I gonna play Shoot? What's Shoot? Really, what I need to play is I need to play Satisfactory on stream. That's what we gotta do. Satisfactory and what other games are there? You know what's actually really funny? If you ever look on Roblox, there's so many factory games on Roblox nowadays. It's kind of crazy. Oh. I don't know, like I said, the only reason I don't like Satisfactory is because I just don't like playing in first person. Like, that's literally it. If I could play Satisfactory in third person, I think I would be like an omnipotent camera, RTS style camera. I would be more than happy to play Satisfactory all the time. But being in first person, I understand, is the core identity to Satisfactory, and that's the only reason I don't really play it myself personally. Mini Shape Hero. I think that was that the one that you linked. Mini Shape Hero. Oh, it's not showing up on Steam, so it's probably not that. Let me also just read this. We got machining. Oh, nice. Oh, we have electricity. Oh, we cavemen have learned how to make rock understand fire, and how to make fire power rock, to make rock do lights. That's right. That's all right. So the main issue is we have not really set up we don't have a proper setup to deal with steel and also to mine things, but I think now we should be able to start automating some of our defense. Maybe not yet. Truly UNGA BUNGA moment. Yeah. Have I heard of Microtopia? Let's see. Oh, okay, I've seen this. Yeah, I've seen this game before. There's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of factory games out there nowadays, and I have a whole bunch in my own Steam library that I kind of played a few times. I didn't play this one personally. I think the one that I've mostly played are, like, again, Victorio, Satisfactory. What are the other ones? I'm looking through my list right now. I think they're usually under the automation category, right? Let's see. Captain of Industry, kind of. Yeah, it's a factory game, I would say. Little Big Workshop I actually put a decent amount of hours into. And then some others, highly specific ones like Railroot and Software Inc. are also kind of fun. It's kind of funny that majority of players of Roblox... I don't think I would agree with that. I think a lot of Roblox's fan base is predominantly still children, but the more vocal players are going to be adults with access to the internet. Right? It's the main thing. I kind of wish... I wonder how much Roblox stock is. I remember like when Roblox did their IPO, I was going to buy some stock. I think when it debuted at like some $60 or something, or like $70, and then it immediately IPO'd for like 80, 90, and I'm like, all right, I'll buy in when it goes down. And then I never got around to going down, and then I didn't end up buying when it crashed because I kind of forgot. And then I'm like, man, I kind of wish that I had. But Roblox is kind of going down again on stock price. So maybe I will actually buy in and just maybe it'll make cash. I don't know. We'll see. Hello there, Todos Sinaga. Also, did I ever check? Yes, I have the new version of Dwarf Fortress. I played it on stream. I thought it was fine. I don't like Dwarf Fortress that much compared to some other games. I'm very much more of a like Rimworld or a game with an isometric viewpoint that's easier to manage. If Minecraft Minecraft should be primarily adults if it's not already. I mean, that's probably what it is. Even a lot of like Minecraft's like earliest creators have kind of pivoted. You know, like they still make Minecraft content, but obviously you can kind of tell that the content isn't necessarily just geared towards like the hyperactive children demographic anymore, and it's definitely a lot more leaning towards the, oh, we're more of a relaxed long form expository type content, right? At least that's the way I see it, but maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't really watch Minecraft YouTubers. If you let grown adults sit in the sandbox, stuff happens. I mean, that's also true. That's why if you're gonna play Roblox, don't. Okay. Am I using a mod? Yes, we're using a mod. It adds a lot of dinosaurs because we essentially started as cavemen. We're no longer cavemen, which is great, but we still have cavemen-like tendencies that we're trying to deal with. Also, have we smoked all of our potatoes yet? We have not. It is getting close to winter. We probably should start killing animals. I don't really want to kill dinosaurs is the problem, but we can kill sea lions, squirrels, the does, the hares, turkeys, raccoons. That's easy enough. Not quite. So we're playing with a mod called Vanilla Factions Expanded Tribal. You essentially start with no technology, and you have to slowly get your technology over time, and that's kind of what we've been doing. Now, the game, and it has a progression from tribal, like pre-tribal, all the way up to like spacer. So now we've moved past medieval. We are entering early industrial now. As a person who grew up with Roblox, I kind of hate what is it. Well, it's a very interesting scenario. Like, I played Roblox when I was younger. Like, I got into Roblox when, like, 2008, 8, so I would have been about 13 at the time. Is when I played it, when I first got into it. And I played it for a good couple of years after that, and it was a very interesting. It was a very, very different era. Nowadays, the experiences on Roblox are incredibly curated and very. My biggest gripe is that Roblox added a lot of, gave creators a tool to monetize their experiences, and a lot of people took that in the worst way possible, where they took all the worst aspects of mobile gaming and that addictiveness that is that is inherent to the design of mobile games, and made that a core identity of a lot of experiences on Roblox. Things like daily logins, VIP passes, which have existed for a long time, but I mean, it's way worse now. Battle passes. I think I already said daily login rewards. And things like that. And it's become much, much more... Oh, and then microtransactions. There's a lot of microtransactions nowadays. Yes, from Neolithic to Spacer. Again, the mod is called Vanilla Factions Expanded Tribal. Minecraft, Terraria, shorts with the one-word pop subtitles and the ADHD gamer voice. Oh, I hate those shorts so much. They always end up on my feed for some reason. What do you, some people want money from kids? I don't expect anything else anymore. That's kind of why Roblox is down in the gutter. I will say, like, sometimes people do make some pretty interesting stuff. Like, I was showing Ray a game that I found mostly through a YouTube video called The Shawarma Stand. And it's like one of those games where you have to feed, basically someone's going to come up to your store and order a shawarma, but you have to make sure, are they a human or are they like some kind of like entity? And I was like, this is actually kind of spooky. I'm done playing this. Yeah, I played it for like 10 minutes. I'm like, I'm spooked, bye. And I quit playing it. I hate horror games. I don't like playing horror games that much. But Ray's like, I want to watch you play a horror game. I'm like, I don't want to play a horror game, please. Let's do a social celebration here. Listen, I don't want to play a horror game if I can avoid it. All right, horror games, not for me. Sorry. You are the shawarma eating entity. I like shawarmas. Actually, let me rephrase. I like shawarmas. I don't like the shawarma wrap type concept. I like shawarmas where it's like the meat on a plate with rice and that like white sauce that they have. That stuff is delicious. No, I'm not playing horror on stream. Sorry. Throwing the shawarma around. Oh. Wait, what's that disgust face? I just don't like I don't like the shawarma wraps. I prefer it if it's in a nice plate with rice and the white sauce. That stuff is delicious. That stuff is amazing. The wrap is also fine too, but I just prefer it the way, like a kebab plate, I guess. To be honest, you have not played Rimworld, but you watch so much videos about it, now you feel like you have an average of 2,000 hours. Trust me, I don't even have 2,000 hours in Rimworld. Looking at my Steam library right now, I'm at like 1,500 hours on this game. You can play for 2,000 hours and you'll still, like, okay, for me, I know the common joke is that I mess up a lot, but I definitely do mess up a lot in Rimworld despite having so many hours, because it's just... I think being a streamer and playing Rimworld kind of lends to making a lot of mistakes by virtue of having to not only pay attention to chat, but also trying to pay attention to the game. Trying to be painfully Asian. What do you mean not being painful? I like rice and noodles. Given the choice between rice and noodles and bread, I will always choose the rice and noodles every single time. And if I had to choose between rice and noodles, I probably will pick noodles every time. Well, that's just my personal choice. Have I played SOS? Yes, I played the SOS2 mod. We've done multiple colonies that are SOS2 themed. I don't do SOS2 anymore because, good God, that mod is like, it is a grind. And I was just getting very frustrated where in SOS2, if you're in a fight and you lose that fight, you're losing everything. There's a Ringmaster boss fight and a Springtrap boss fight, mods in Darkest Dungeon. Wait, there's a Springtrap like FNAF Springtrap? In Darkest Dungeon 1? Like as a mod? Wait, I need to look this up. Darkest Dungeon Springtrap. I need to look this up. What is this? Hashire Sori. Oh, I was gonna re-record that and post it on Twitter again. Hashire Sori yo, kaze no yo ni tsukimi hara o padoru padoru. There you go. There's your padoru padoru. for 2025. Wow, you're not kidding. This really is just Springtrap. It's kind of cool, actually. There's also a one-shot mod of all things Darkest for Dungeons where they gave the child a gun. Wait, what do you mean by one-shot mod with a gun? You know, I guess I could deserve things being thrown at me for that. It could be worse. It could always be worse. What if I did it in like a very deep, ominous, sultry voice? Oh, the Messiah? Let me look this up. The Messiah. Okay, I saw this class before, but I had no idea what this was supposed to be a... Oh, it's literally from a game called One Shot. Okay, I've never played One Shot. But I've seen the character design before. Yeah, I remember seeing the character design, but I've not played the game myself. The mute button. No, no. I can't believe I'm being muted. No. I think the people who enjoy Rimworld stories are just valid ones who... Yeah, I mean, listen, some people are very good at playing the game in a way that is entertaining. Like I said, when I play the game, a lot of times these just turn into very glorified just chatting streams where Rimworld kind of takes place in the background, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a very amusing thing that I've noticed about when I play this game. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just think it's funny. Right? I just think it's kind of amusing. But there's always a way to play Rimworld. Like, I like playing themed colonies. So every run that I do is always themed after something tribal to, you know, somewhat technologically competent start. We've done Japanese themed colonies. We've done... what's it called? We've done space-themed colonies. In February, we're going to start Nekograd, which is our annual communist catgirl colony, which I'm very excited to go for because we'll be in space this time. And it'll be great. I don't know what Gossip World is. I don't really want to stream RPG Maker games because it's not really my wheelhouse. But if there's a really good one, then maybe I could be convinced. I did not hear Whiskey's impromptu Padoru. Did she post it on Twitter or somewhere else that I can find? The more you listen to me, the more pain resistant you get to it. No, apparently I'm always able to find ways to make people cringe even more. I'm surprised Ray didn't throw anything at me, so maybe she didn't hear me make the funny sounds. Maybe she's too engrossed in her Digimans. I feel like Rimworld's games that heavily carried by the modding community? I think the staying power of a lot of video games is kind of dependent on the modding community. I don't disagree with that. Oh, you heard it? You'll pay from here? Oh, okay, got it. Fair enough. Fair enough. It's in the media channel? Okay, I'll take a look after stream. Hello, Ranu. Good evening. What's Barony? Barony game. Too late for the Lazarismus? What do you mean the Lazarismus? The last Rismus. Wait, didn't one of the Hololivers sing this? Oh, I think Bibu sang this, didn't she? Last Rismus, I gave you my gat, but the very next day, you gave me your Drake. This year, no skivity riz, I'm edging with someone Sigma. Who comes up with these lyrics? Oh no, I'm sorry. No, come back. It was a mistake. Oh, I can't believe this. You know what? This is my own punishment. This is what I deserve, I guess. You married a weird. Listen, you knew this was part of the contract that you signed. This is part of the contract that you signed. You knew what you were getting into when you signed that contract. You knew what you were getting into. The meme reset will happen. Okay, to be fair, there's a lot more. Okay, what's worse, that or 6-7? Okay, there's a lot more worse memes out there. Okay. God, the 6-7 meme is just something that actually I can't blame the younger generations for liking 6-7 because when I was, well, you know what meme I thought was stupid funny too? That stupid thing where it's like Markiplier's face on Lord Farquaad's head. and it's just like the deep reverberating E. I thought that was like the funniest thing ever. And I was like, I don't know why it's so funny. So I guess I can understand 6, 7 being super funny to younger generations. Like, it's just one of those things that you just kind of latch onto. Dead brain behavior, and you think working legal stuff just gave you lower tolerance for abuse. I mean, that's fair too. That's fair. 6, 7 is just a little millennials S. I mean, kind of. Not the piano meme, but it's just here. You know what? I'll find it. I will just pull up an example. It's basically this image. Hold on. It's basically this image of like Markiplier's head on, I guess it's not, I thought it was Lord Farquaad, but he looks like Lord Farquaad, and it just says E. And then usually it'd be like a deep reverberating E. But yeah, this, for whatever reason, turned into a meme. And I thought it was like the funniest thing ever for some reason. I couldn't stop giggling every time I saw one of these memes. But like I said, every generation just has like that one thing that just kind of latch onto. Like, you know what else is funny from my... It's kind of like a thing that's kind of permeated the internet, but... Loss. Oh my god. I think loss is one of those things that I find stupid funny, and every time I see it, it's just like, oh god. You know what's funny too? You know what made loss even more cursed? Okay. Why is the whole base dark? Because there's no light. So, I was actively reading Control-Alt-Delete when the when Loss came out, which is even so. I saw that thing get uploaded like the day it came out. I think I was like 13 or something at the time, and I was like, at the time I was just like, wow, this is just a really sad storyline, because I mean, I didn't, you know, it was like, oh, you know, he was like a very normal haha funny gamer comic, and then they suddenly had a miscarriage plot line thrown in there. And then like I saw people immediately starting like a memeing on it. I was there for when Lost was birthed. No. Not the TV show. Not the TV show. Lost. Hold on, do I have an email for it? I didn't ruin the internet for you. The internet was already ruined beforehand, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. Oh, it's because we have lights, but they're all fire powered, and also we just haven't had enough fire piping through everything. And that's kind of the issue. A lot of our stuff is basically we don't have enough stuff to keep these things powered. Ever since I explained Lost. Yeah. How do I feel about XKCD? I like XKCD. I think it's a good comic. Because XKDC is it's an intelligent comic, right? It's not... There's a lot... It's a funny comic if you understand the joke. And it's very like math or science based or something like that. And I think it's funny, short snippets. In fact, when you're playing SOS2, one of your pawns went behind the thrusters and turned on. He never seen again. You wonder why. I've had that happen in our stream too, and I had to reload the save. All right, you can stop trying to post Lost now. I get it. But Garm, if you've never seen Lost, the actual original Lost comic looks like. Okay, so okay. Let me give context. So, you know it's bad when it has its own Wikipedia page, okay? So Lost was so if you don't know, Control-Alt-Delete was a comic from like the earlier era of the internet, like I think the mid-2000s, right? And it was very much a gamer comic. As in, they made a lot of like epic gamer references and all that stuff. And for whatever reason, they decided to include this entire plot line where the main character's girlfriend or whatever is having a miscarriage. And they lose their kid. And so this is basically the comic on Wikipedia. He goes in to the hospital. He's talking to someone at the desk. Talks to a doctor. Goes into the room. And the wife is crying. Right? I think at this point in the story, they're actually like husband and wife. And this became a meme because all they did was... It's been reduced to this. Like, essentially people reduce loss into this set of lines: vertical, parallel, vertical, and then perpendicular, because it's character, two characters, character, and then wife. And it's this is the meme. So a lot of times if you see lines like this in a suspicious manner, or like a 4 squares, if you just see 4 squares and you just start looking for lines, you're probably gonna find loss, because people love hiding loss in everything. So it's one of those like things that is just like an internet classic at this point. Is it kind of mean that it's a miscarriage joke? I don't know. But it's one of those things that's just been around forever. And I remember when it came out, like there was a huge amount of backlash too, because it's like, because it just came out of left field. Because people, like the plot line for Control-Alt-Delete, if you've never read the comic, is that it's basically kind of a lazy gamer dude and his wacky misadventures with his gamer friend and all that stuff. I would highly recommend just reading it yourself rather than me talking about it, because this comic has been around since like, God, like 2002 or something like that. So I definitely recommend just looking into that. You still can't believe Skibidi Toilet Brain Rot was 2 years ago and now launched controversies. I do know about the Skibidi Toilet controversy, yeah, because like about how the rights owner is like trying to deny payments or something to the original creator or something like that. It's not mentioned the time traveling Xbox robot killing us. There's a lot of weird plot lines in Control-Alt-Delete. Yeah, I know he made like the Xbox robot, and I know there's like the whole, I don't know, it really was just like gamer. It was, what were the other like comics back in the day? VG Cats, I think, was another one. Are they still around? Now I gotta find out if VG Cats is still around. I think those were like the 2 main ones I read back in the day. It was like VG Cats and Control-Alt-Delete. I guess they're dead. Yeah, they're probably just, I mean, I don't know when these were posted, but this probably was just a while ago. They just make shorties. Oh, is it? Oh, geez, I'm sorry. Well, I guess I'm not gonna look at that anymore. Whoopsies. Let's close that. Okay, well, Snafu just died recently. I don't know what Snafu is, but I probably didn't read that one. I know there's a bunch of other ones, like what, Penny Arcade. I know Penny Arcade is still around. And that's a very normal comic line. Also, I should probably pay attention to Rimworld. What is going on in Rimworld? We should probably... Oh, we're being attacked by the Bana Empire. 2 and 4. Okay, so do we have enough for this? We really need to start figuring out better weapon options for our fellows. Why are you throwing things at me, Ray? What have I done? Did you message me on Discord? No? You're just throwing things at me. Got it. What's more funny, 6'9" or 6'7"? I don't think 6'9" was ever... I don't know. They're... So hit the best one of best line Penny Arcade. Who's the non-B? What do they call it? Non-B? I don't know what the right word is in Penny Arcade. Get back to the head pass usually after it gets oak. The robot? Oh, okay. Got it. NB. Sorry, I don't know like the right terminology half the time. We're gonna research the ancient art of... Ooh, solar panels would be pretty good. We really need to figure out a better way to defend ourselves, because right now our defenses are basically non-existent. It's been a bit of a struggle here. Listen, I have to give Ray the head pass. That's how it works, okay? I don't think Ray doesn't give me, I give them to Ray. That's how it's supposed to operate. Easy way to remember NB. Oh, NB. Oh, is that what? Is that how they came up with that? Wow, that's correct. I didn't think about that. That's great. I didn't think about that. That's funny. Also, it's snowing in the game. Also, that's annoying because we have crops that need to finish harvesting soon. Yes, we have played with Rim Atomics a few times before. Usually we don't run them too often because Rim Atomics is ends up kind of taking over a run, and so we don't do it that often. Although it is pretty fun to try out every now and again. Why are we throwing things at? We have not done a thing to deserve such abuse. I'm learning all these different terminologies. Oh, so I gotta finish this throne. Oh, I don't know what I was gonna do here. I think it's gonna be like a crafting chamber or something. But I definitely need to, oh, right. Who was the colony leader? Oh, no, this is Ray's bed, because I forgot Ray has the whole mental power thing, so we're gonna give Ray the royal bed. And then we're gonna put a nice floor. Nice wooden floor. Befitting of a noble. The finest of woods. And then I think we'll do the granite tile here. There we go. Wait, what? Fell for it again? Curse? What do you mean? Wait, what second one? What am I, wait, hold on. Okay, hold on, let me look at this again. Let me make sure, Sky Pian's gonna die. That's what I get. What do you mean? Beat up. Give Bashy head pass. 6-7 will fade easily. Easy to remember. NB is NB. She did it again. Just now. Fell for it again. Curse, I tell you. Have you done a message? Shame up. Wait, what? What? Wait, what? Am I not understanding correctly here? Oh, that part. Sorry. Yes, I saw that. I forgot to talk about that, but I did see that you were talking about how your mom made your brother fall for these nuts jokes. I didn't realize these nuts jokes were still popular in the year of our Lord 2025. I thought those kind of went the way of the dodo, but I guess they're still popular nowadays. I don't even think I make these nuts jokes, right? I don't think I've ever really made that type of joke. Maybe I did a long time ago, but it's not really my type of thing anymore. I'm from Minnesota. I am not from Minnesota. What is in Minnesota but Minneapolis? I know not what's in Minnesota, okay? Henways. Have I tried to island the desert or the I have not, no. These nuts like a 2-year thing. Minnesota balls. Nice try. I know the really popular one was Dragon. Like that one was was like the appropriate. Like there was Dragon, there was these, then there was Sogon, and there was a bunch of other ones. Why is your mom playing Roblox? That's the real question we should be asking. Why is your mom playing Roblox? Let's see. Oh, yeah, Suckma was another one too. Goblin. Oh yeah, the Mind Goblin. What's a Mind Goblin? Mind Goblin. Yeah, that was a joke. That was a joke in Magic the Gathering too. At some point, there was a card that is commonly referred to as Mind Goblin, and it was really dumb because it actually became. It was actually competitive. So okay. So there, I don't know how to describe this. I'm just gonna pull this stupid card up. So in Magic the Gathering, there's this card that's technically called _ Goblin. Okay. And it looks like, oh wait, am I being attacked? Oh, I forgot we were under attack. Whoopsies, I was not paying attention. Yeah, we should probably do this. I was not paying attention. I forgot we were under attack. All right, everyone with a weapon, let's go fight. We gotta do this real quick. Whoopsies, I forgot and I wasn't paying attention. All right, start smacking them down. Okay, you're knocked out. Okay, you're fighting. That's fine. Get Steve down here. I don't know what's going on over here, but something's happening. Pivot here. All right. I think Garm's trying to shoot. That's fine. I think everyone's gonna be fine. Henways, also known as what for the controversy trap or nonsense for to set up play and first the victim was a Henway around a kilo. Oh, okay. Let's see. All right, let me see what you're saying. Don't ask, you don't know why. Okay. Well, I guess your mom's just playing Roblox now for some reason. You need something that you have a pawn. You could always just keep your pawn alive and make your pawn stronger. You have You can change the traits, like you have sluggish and you have delicate. What if you're no longer delicate or sluggish and you replace it with a better trait? Those are options. Oh, so let's make sure everyone's alive. And where did that meteor? That meteor just destroyed that bedroom. You just destroyed Steve's bedroom and also a good chunk of our hay crop. Congratulations. You feel proud about destroying our food? Our food that we needed to stay alive. Okay, let's get you into a bed, please. You're fine, you're fine. You need to undraft, and we gotta get you in a bed. You wanna get a mega raid? I mean, you can always buy a raid, right? I do need to use the restroom at some points. Hold on, let me save the game before you commit to killing the colony. And let me use the restroom. I'll be right back. You can kind of gawk at the colony for a bit while I go disappear temporarily, and I guess we try to capture this guy. I'll be right back. While this is happening, I would also like to order Arani to refill the brazier so we have some light. Okay. There is a limit. I think it's like 15,000 coins or something. I'm back. Hold on, sorry. I was taking a nice sip of my tea like a fine English gentleman would, with my pinky out to be an obnoxious fellow, to really show those peasants who's really in charge around here, by showing off how regal and noble and royal I am. Rolfer just says, did that banner already come out? No, I didn't. I rolled for Summer Saiya and that was it. I'm like, I'm done. Yeah, British. We're gonna be British here. Also, hello there. It's English here in this chat. Todo Sanaga, mostly because I do not speak Spanish. I basically speak English and Japanese, some Japanese anyways, and that's about it. No, I don't know why they have their pinky out. Why do they have their pinky out? Tell me. They picked up spices with a pinky pinch? I don't know what that means. Are they sniffing their pinkies and the spices on it? Yeah, my bottle of no, it's a pint of water in my steiner or what? I don't even know. Listen, I just drink water. It's in a cup. That's all there is to it. You know, the funny thing is I would not be able to verify what you're telling me if you're BSing me or not. Also, did I... Oh, the prisoner died. Why? Malnutrition? Extreme malnutrition. These guys are just dying left and right. We are never getting anyone fresh to join the colony. It's so tragic. You know what I think we need to do? Hold on. I'm gonna... Oh, I can't find the ideology button. Here's our ideology. I thought there would be an option to start editing our ideology, but for some reason we don't have that available to us, so I'm just gonna do it myself. So this celebration we're gonna edit. There's a chance to get a random recruit. This drum party, there is a chance to get a random recruit. And we also have one for a bonfire ritual. And okay, maybe not bonfire. What else we can do here? So I thought I set it to reform ideology, but when we started this run, we didn't actually get access to ideology reform because of the way the mod was set up. We actually don't have access to ideology until we enter tribal era. And for whatever reason, it didn't give me the option to edit the ideology. So I'm just going to do it myself to make it easier because this is ridiculous. We'll do a... I guess those two are probably fine. Yeah, and just give us another social festival that chance for a random recruit. Okay. And that should be fine. Wow, there's a lot of dead people here. Wow, look at all those dead people. That's a little crazy. I want that plate armor. We're gonna strip that off of this person real quick because we don't care about tainted gear. Who needs armor? Okay, so Infidave probably needs some armor. Alright, you can have this tainted plasteel armor. That'll be good for you. Now you've got gear. Perfect. Okay. Well, you might be cold, so we probably need to get you a t-shirt at some point. Yeah, we need t-shirts. Or something to go underneath all that. Well, hopefully we can make more clothes, but we don't have enough people that are good at crafting. Are you dead? No, you're not. Also, hello there, Marksman. How are you doing? Okay, but why would they pinch the... What's the point of pinching the spices? Are they tasting the spices while they're drinking their tea? Like, how does this work? I don't understand. You have to remember, I don't really drink tea very much either. My beverage consumption is basically water and Coke Zero. And occasionally Gatorade. And that's basically it. I don't drink coffee. Although, I'm not gonna lie, I've considered starting coffee. I have not committed to starting drinking coffee, unfortunately, because coffee... I just don't really want to figure out how to make a good cup of joe. Yours is milk, water, and hydrogen. Interesting I mean, what do you mean drinking hydrogen? Pinching it must be Italian? I mean, maybe. Habit came to be is anything more exotic than salt was expensive. Alright. Why did people raise their pinky while drinking? A way to add condiments with one finger to keep other fingers clean. Okay. Alternatively, it was also intended to signal that you had a STD. So, at this point, I don't even know. Maybe it's just a regional interpretation on how this is supposed to be interpreted. Oh, I forgot to mention this, but when I was talking about the Mind Goblin thing earlier, in Magic the Gathering, there's this card called Blank Goblin. Basically, when you play this card, you're supposed to put a sticker on it, a name sticker, and I think one of them was literally called Mind. And so the common thing people would put on this was Mind for whatever reason, or at least the joke was this thing was called the Mind Goblin because it had a blank. And this card actually became incredibly useful in competitive play, that they had to ban all these cards that had the sticker mechanic on it, like from competitive play, and that's why Mind Goblin is now banned, because it was just ridiculous. And that's just a random side story about Mind Goblin. Yes, because the whole Mind Goblin these nuts type thing. But yeah, I like the smell of coffee. I just don't like the taste of coffee, because I am a child who likes my hot drinks to basically be soups and broths, and I don't like drinking other beverages for that matter. Am I picky? Probably. I'm a little picky in that regard, but who cares? No, I actually don't like sweet hot drinks very much either. So something like hot chocolate, I actually just don't like hot chocolate. Maybe a mocha would be okay if it's like a little bitter. But if it's just basically molten sugar, I'm just not a fan of it. I've never liked hot chocolate. But I do like the taste of coffee sometimes. Like, I think a cold coffee is pretty good. Hot chocolate with malt or milk, it's gotta be milk. You always gotta have, listen, if you're already consuming chocolate, you might as well just commit to the milk, okay? You might as well just commit to the fact that your gut is going to die. You might as well embrace it, okay? Oh, we're out of potatoes. We can't make any more vodka. Oh, just kidding, we have potatoes again. I apologize. What do you mean? For the These Nuts jokes? Trust me, we were talking about the Mind Goblin These Nuts jokes earlier. It was ridiculous. Also, what was the event that triggered? I was not paying attention. A Dark Scholar has arrived at their colony. Oh, okay. I guess we'll talk to them. I guess they want to join us. Alright. The Dark Scholar slouches in place, lifeless and silent. Only her eyes seem alive, as if she could look inside you. She says this isn't where she belongs and asks to stay for a while. Her tone indicates she will not take no for an answer. Her body is riddled with corrupt archives. She can release them at will, creating a cloud of dead life dust which can reanimate nearby corpses. She may be very useful, but you also sense there's something she's not telling you. Welcome aboard, Clutch! The blind human furry with... wait. Oh, she's actually our gene line, which is even better. Perfect. Alright, it's time for everyone's favorite mechanic. Who is it gonna be today? Wow, there's 10 people in this queue. Oh my gosh. So reminder, I'm gonna press roll until it's someone who's shown up on stream today. That's the rule. That's always been the rule. Congrats, Ziryuzen. This is yours now. You are a unknown childhood with an unknown adulthood, mysterious, spooky person with dead life, dust, magic powers. You're ignorant, which is kind of ironic because intellectual -4, but you're already at cap. Unhygienic, restless, steadfast, kind, and psychically dull. Which means you will make for the perfect research bot. So I'm just gonna put you on research, and you can do whatever else you want. Plants otherwise. Yeah. So that way you will always have a job in this colony. Just realized we haven't had Alana in this colony, but I think when it comes to Necrograd, that's when we're gonna do it. Necrograd, we're gonna have Ray, and then actually just Ray. For when we do Necrograd, do we make Ray a rabbit as the only rabbit in the colony, or do we also make her a cat girl? I can't remember what we do. I think we just keep her as a rabbit, right? She's like the one rabbit in a colony of cat girls, and that's usually how we do it. Something along those lines. It'll be exciting to go back into space with Necrograd. You don't like soda and chocolate? Chocolate is one of those things, like, I can eat chocolate in small amounts, but I don't like eating chocolate in large quantities because, I don't know, it just feels weird. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that much sugar to be consumed. So honestly, if you want to know what I like prefer, I like a nice Ferrero Rocher or Ferrero Rocher, one of those hazelnut chocolate things. Those things are amazing, but they're like calorie bombs. They're like 100 something calories a pop, but they're so good. What is this meteor landing now? Well, you didn't destroy anything. That's a good sign. Such a good streamer. Was your gut hurt? Well, maybe you had consumed some milk and you're actually lactose intolerant and you just didn't realize it. Alternatively, you ate some bad food and now you're recovering and you're probably gonna vomit. Or you have a stab wound in your stomach and you should probably go to a doctor and get that checked out. Where is this one landing? Well, thankfully this one didn't actually destroy any crops for once. That's good. Okay, so we at least have a decent amount of potato crop that we have to haul. We really need more pawns. I think one of the biggest issues that we just don't have enough people to do work. Where did that one land? I don't know where it landed. Probably fine. Also, while Skypeon's here, I'm just gonna quickly slap a new leg onto Skypeon. I'm gonna give you a brand new peg leg. Yes, okay. And I'm gonna have Ronnie do it. Let's get this new leg for Skypeon. Skypeon's been waiting for a brand new mobility implement. You would think it wouldn't be that hard to make a peg leg, but apparently it's quite difficult, so I don't know. Alright, Skypeon is the new leg. Okay, so I've really got to find new prisoners. We also got to kill more animals. I'd like to hunt down all these deer, please. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to kill all of these. Actually, Ziryu, can you fight? You have some melee stat. You have no shooting stat. Alright, congrats. You can have a knife, I guess. A knife will suit you. I mean, we could try... Actually, wait. Serious Zen is 50... Oh, no. I think Rimworld pawns can only... I remember this was the discussion last week. And I think female pawns are only fertile up until, like, 50, right? And I think men are also, like, their fertility also falls off a cliff. So we basically can't actually breed... with any pawns. We're not going to use Ray. If Davis 72. Garm and Arani might work. God, it seems really awkward to say we're going to impregnate Garm. That seems like a very weird thing to say. I don't like those words coming out of my mouth. Okay, Rare Pickle would be in cannot romance, low opinion. I'm trying to also get them to have kids is also just really hard. It's kind of the reason why we never do colonies where we have colonists have kids, because it's just like I don't really know how to say it in a way that's not super weird. You know what I mean? So that's kind of why. Yeah. I mean, I know it's a mechanic of the game. Maybe we got to do it anyways. I guess Garm's 43, which means there's a decent chance, but Garm still has to romance someone. Rare Pickle's the best option. Alright, we'll see if this pans out. What's the best and worst sidecast? I don't really care, because I never use sidecasts. I'm not even joking. I basically avoid the sidecast mechanic as much as possible. Probably Skip is my favorite. Skip and Invisibility are probably the best ones. We need children for the mines. That's true. We do need children for the mines. I can't disagree with that. If we get to the celebrations, there's a good chance we can get some people, but they're very time limited. Actually, Ray is better than you, but Ray is unfortunately missing a good chunk of her fingers. Well, yeah, so unfortunately Ray's manipulation is cratered, but so aside from Ray, you are actually the next best doctor. But even still, you're missing a thumb now, too. Z-Opposer's also really good, but Z-Opposer's kind of missing an eyeball, as you might have noticed. So, it's just it's a wild cacophony of just weird injuries that are causing significant issues to our continued survival. We found a victory run of the Philippines. I tried to do a victory run of the Philippines. It is... Good luck getting free from the yoke of Spain is all I'm gonna say. I think you can do it, but I don't know. Also, I've been meaning to get the Victory DLC, but I haven't had a chance to buy them yet. And that's kind of the reason why I haven't really played that much Victoria 3, because I know they had like the whole Charters of Commerce, which made that mechanic a lot more interesting, and the National Awakening, so you can try to although I think that was one's more for specific countries, right? I think that was a country pack. I know there's Iberian Twilight too, so if you wanted to play as Spain, but honestly, I probably want to play just, I don't know. I'll have to see. Think about the Stone, thinking from the Stone Age. You have been thinking from the Stone Age. That's why you're so smart. I tried the Deserters quest against the Empire. I have not. I've not tried that specific run type yet. Like I said, I'm very specific with the types of runs that I do, and quite frankly, I think this run is like really the main point of this run is how much research can we get done. I think what I do need to do though is we gotta start getting some just generic power going so we can maybe expand our survivability, or at least not be so reliant on some of this other form of power that we've been utilizing, and maybe gives us a little bit more just stuff to survive. Like maybe we don't need all this torchlight. What if we embrace electricity based lighting systems, right? We have the technology, why don't we embrace it? In fact, I might turn, oh right, I think what I was gonna do is it's gonna be the production room. This is going to merge into one bigger hospital room. And then I think we'll just keep this as the research lab, something along those lines. So why don't we do that? Let's start embracing modernized furniture. But still, like, just bare bones electricity, I think is fine. We don't need the fanciest lamps. We just need a form of a lamp to get some lights. Except I cannot find where the lights are because apparently I'm blind or I have not unlocked. Oh. Oh, this is what they look like. Okay, so let's convert this room into production for now. And we will need to find a way to move. We'll need to generate electricity. We don't have solar yet. So for now, I think we'll have to just get batteries. Yeah, we'll need batteries, and I think we'll make an electricity room right around here-ish. I think would not be a bad idea. Also, we're just gonna make a new zone over here, just like that. And then we'll copy here, paste it here, and then get rid of this one. And then we should be able to just turn this into our utilities room, essentially. Cuba always gets the fun Spain stuff. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by the fun Spain stuff? What are the other, like, paradoxes? Oh, I think Stellaris, right? One of these days I'll play Stellaris again. I have been wanting to play Stellaris for so long, but I just have not had an opportunity to play that game. I know there's, like, so much cool DLC. Like, I know the new, like, Warp DLC has, like, all this new chaos shenanigans. I'm like, ooh, this would be so cool to play. But I'm not sure people want to watch Stellaris, because I think I'm a very boring Stellaris player. I think one of my biggest issues when I play a lot of these strategy games is I'm very much a tall player rather than a go wide player. Going wide is more entertaining, I think, to watch than people going tall, and that's kind of been my biggest issue playing something like Stellaris. Our armor is, we've been kind of using whatever we've been able to grab off of people. So I think unfortunately right now the armor's kind of, it's just like some wooden war tribal gear. We haven't had proper plate gear. We're being attacked by a stack of 11 humans, which means we gotta get ready for this. So ideally, I would like to get some proper gear soon. Can I... Okay, so what? Okay, our faction gear should look like this, right? So this should be... Okay. There we go. Yeah, well, I haven't had a chance... Well, when we have so few crafters able to craft, you know, prevents us from actually expanding our gear options significantly, and that's kind of the big problem. Zero-Usen, you're gonna stay behind. You're not good at fighter. All right, everyone who can fight, let's get ready. Let's get ready to hold off these foul demons. All right, so Garm's gonna stand right here. Sun stands right here. Rare Pickle with that Claymore. Infidate right here. Ray with that beautiful sword coming right here. Hold the line. All right, let's see opposer in behind here to smack him from the rear. There we go. And Steve will also come in here to also partake in the great smackening. Thankfully, Garm's weapon is basically a giant shotgun, which is very funny. Also, hopefully you've been able to connect to the Minecraft server. If you are running into issues, Arani, let me know. Just note that I'm not going to be able to do too much while I'm out and about, but I'll do my best to provide assistance while I'm traveling if necessary. Although most of my focus is going to be on keeping Ray happy, because if I don't keep Ray happy, she's going to kill me and I'll never be able to stream ever again. Okay, I'm going to capture this one. Yes, hello there, Toto. You're still there. Is the stream dying again? Sometimes it happens. Let's have Sun quickly capture this one. And Infidave, I wanted you to capture the other one, because these two might either become new friends or fresh organs. Let's see what these two turn into. Fresh friends or fresh organs. We'll find out. Okay, so tomorrow, I think the options are now... Oh, shoot, you're dying. So it's Long Dark, Rimworld, Frostpunk. I think those are going to be the potential choices for tomorrow's... Okay, can we... Okay, you're not a doctor. Ray's a doctor. Okay, so maybe we have Ray just go over there and tend real quick. I'm not sure if we're going to tend fast enough, but I guess we'll find out. Infidave is dying. You need to get into a bed. Okay. Let's get someone to tend to Rare Pickle ASAP. I don't care about the prisoner right now. Prisoner doesn't matter. He's dead. That's fine. This one's more important. Come on. Come on. Rare Pickle lives, right? Almost there. Come on. Okay, I don't know if this is enough. Oh, the injuries might be too much. 4, 3, 2... Oh my gosh, we were so close. All right. Well, there goes Rare Pickle. Another one falls to the whims of war. Let's get tended to over there. Doing in the dark is also a little unfortunate. I mean, there's light, but not that much light. That's my own fault, obviously, for not keeping enough light. That's why we're trying to get electricity going. Slowly but surely. All right, also, no one's tended to this individual who's dying, who should probably be tended to now. Maybe we should get Infidave tended to, and let's get another grave set up. Another grave for our friends. Also, you might have noticed your Skype Eon's also having a mental breakdown, which is also a fun problem to deal with. We're getting attacked again? Oh, this one wasn't even... Oh, this one's just a random event. Oh, Jesus Christ. There's 6 of them. All right. Who's got weapons? Because they gotta get back out there and they gotta fight. Oh, boy. All right, Steve. If you can fight, you gotta get back out here. All right. War never ends. All right. You should be fine. But we gotta get Ray... We gotta send Ray back out. Another fight. Another day. Oh gosh, we don't have ways to really shoot at them from afar is the other problem. Alright, let's let them chill for a bit. Then I'm gonna have... Once you eat, I'm gonna have you quickly tend to Garm while you stand. If they approach, we got them down. Quickly... Actually, no, you quickly refill this one. Because I'm gonna have Garm man that one in a second. Okay, so man this thing. Okay, so if they approach, we have an Arbalist that can at least do some pretty long-range shots and at least maybe keep them away. But with that death, that's one less person we have to play with, and that's a huge, huge deal. It also sucks because he was one of our best builders. Alright, see, Opposer, you gotta build the grave. Music is fire. Yeah, you like that classic Rimworld music, the Nimbo Stratus? Is this actually Rimworld, or is this that mod? Alright. Let's deal with this. Alright, they're attacking now, so we're gonna have you do that. And then I'm gonna pull out Steve over here. And then Infidave. No, you have to rest because you're dying. Skypeon has had no sleep. You know what? Too bad, you gotta fight now. We need everyone. The colony must stand. The colony cannot fall. Alright, so they're using the Herbalist, at least maybe keeping them at bay. Oh, they missed. So no, Sun missed every single shot. Oh no. Okay, so now Sun's stuck in combat against this poor guy. Doing what we can to maybe keep him back. I need you to stay alive because you're my doctor, but I'm gonna have you come out to the front now. Okay, we're gonna have you quickly fire at this guy. Just switch to the shotgun. Oh, right. Send Ray in. Nice. All right. Ziriuzen's already injured pretty badly. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. I know what we can do. I forgot we have this ancient power. Arise, corpses, and fight for your master. I forgot we have this power. Let's try that. All right, there we go. All right. It's not our problem anymore. There we go. I forgot that's a thing that we can do. That seems really strong. You might as well capture the other one too. I think that's the last one we can capture. Wow, that was that's gross. Maybe I need to do a necromancer run. Good lord. I want to have funny, wacky death powers like that. That seems overpowered. Let's get you into a bed. Oh, wait, is there more? Oh, they were in... Oh, shoot, they didn't... I didn't realize they get into the base. Uh-oh. Hello. Hi. When did they get in here? We gotta deal with this now. Okay. I did not realize they were in base. Alright, start stabbing. Alright, and then... I think that's everyone, right? Okay, so we should be able to rest and recover now. So... Oh, yeah, they were... Oh, no, they're setting a bedroom on fire, too. Great. Undraft everyone. And then Ray's tending to the prisoners. Okay, so... reduce resistance, and this one is dead, so that's fine. And then Arani, the very overworked doctor. Let's get you in bed. I need to make sure everyone who's dying is going to be tended to ASAP. Okay, so then Arani, it's time to make sure these people aren't going to die. Thank you very much. Tend now. And then Ray, also tend to the other one now. Because they have very limited time to survive. Okay. And then, yeah, necromancy is a pretty cool power to have. Isn't that nutty? Also, I bought a new screen protector, or I bought a new phone case the other day. What is... I really wish this phone case did not come with a privacy screen protector. I don't know if anyone ever has one of those things, but I'm getting annoyed because it makes my screen darker. Just a very minor complaint that I have. Because I wanted to buy a new phone case because my current one was, I wanted to try something with those, what is that cool Apple thing, MagSafe? I hear MagSafe is all the rage with the youngins nowadays, with their pops and their phone things, I don't know. Okay, let's get Sky Peons, maybe let's get that friend out of there. Okay, let's have you quickly bury. We'll never do hauling, alright, we'll have Ray bury in a second. Any day now. Perfect, okay. I'm telling you, Rimworld is a very... It's great for telling stories, but I think it also, you can kind of tell how many people we've lost already. Considering there are 16 graves over here. Every time we get one person new, we typically lose one or two more people in response because the game wants to ensure that we're always suffering all the time. There is never peace. There's always pain. Okay, we gotta feed this guy or else he's gonna die. So can you, like, feed the poor guy? Okay, so I'm gonna make Arani prioritize feeding them, I think is fine. Yes, we do play random, because that's typically what I prefer playing on. Let's feed these two real quick. And then we'll do a funeral. And we'll see how that pans out. These two have to eat. I can't let the prisoner starve to death. Also haul this corpse out of here too. This thing should not be here anymore. Yeah. The lack of builders is gonna kill me. Alright, funeral time. Let us remember Rare Pickle, who fought valiantly on the front lines to defend our colony from the horrifying dangers of those who would dare rise up against our beautiful colony. Our colony of free thinkers, of those who would We who would abandon our caveman ways to embrace more modern technology of firearms and fire. We have learned how to make rocks think. And for that, he has fallen because the others could not handle progress. Shame on them. Let's see. Let's get this all hooked up to... Oh, jeez. Oh, they destroyed my wooden pump as well. Great. All right, that's annoying. Gotta get these potatoes, like, hauled inside ASAP. Same with the hay. Gotta get all this hauled. Oh, they destroyed the stupid granary when I wasn't paying it. Oh my gosh, yeah. All right, they destroyed a lot of things. All right, who's my primary builder? Zeoposer is the only one who can build. Great, and Zeoposer's injured. Nope, you're not allowed to rest. Time to build. If there's only one person who can build, that person will be building all day forever. Okay, and then I'm gonna have to order someone else to work on construction. No one else is really capable of construction aside from Arani, I think. With a skill of 4, I think I don't have a choice. You're gonna have to start building things. I would make you a crafter normally, but I think that time is long past. You're just not having that option anymore. Anyways, at least that's how it panned out. What was I gonna talk about otherwise besides this? Oh my goodness. This game hates me. Look at this. 5 people caught the plague. Because of course they did. Oh my goodness, you've got to be kidding me. Alright, well, let's get everyone with the plague to rest here so we can get them tended to now. Okay, get Garmin the other bed then, that's fine. Arani's also got the plague, right? Alright. Let's get the plague tended to. Okay, so you're fine. You need a self-tend. Self-tending is permitted. Okay, tend. Let's see if we can get this, okay, that's fine. Gotta tend to everyone else real quick, so tend. Well, sometimes Randy Random just hates me, and I think that's just the way it is. I'm trying to just survive whatever things that the wild man throws at me. It's not the end of the world, it's just more annoying to constantly have to deal with these perpetual issues. Okay, so Garm needs to be tended to next, right? Oh, Garm's tended, okay. Let's tend over here. Okay, not too bad. I think with Arani's high medical skill, it seems like we've tended to everyone who's got the plague, right? I hope so. 40% I think is acceptable enough to survive. Muscle parasites, plague, and I think this one also has the plague. Yep. Oh my goodness, this game, I swear. But that's what we signed up for. I don't know. This run has just been kind of filled with disease after disease after disease, and that's kind of, at this point, what I expect. It's just, it doesn't make it any easier dealing with it, if that makes any sense, right? Like, I understand, it still sucks. Also, yeah, without a builder, we really need to find a way to get another pawn, but the prisoners are perpetually starving. The only one who can tend to these people is Arani, who's also dying of the plague. I don't have a dedicated warden. We just don't have enough people to cover every role that... And that's a problem. You gotta be kidding me. Alright. I had no choice. I had to cut him. Alright. Ronnie is a very overworked doctor. I'm not sure if you'll survive with all the immunity things you'll need to deal with. Okay, so tend. And then... Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's a uranium halberd. What's the opposer? I think you're using steel, right? Congratulations to Infidave. I am hereby No. Yes. Congratulations to Infidave. I'm hereby upgrading you from flail to uranium halberd wielder. I don't remember if in vanilla... No, in vanilla you definitely can't make a resurrection serum. You can find resurrection serums, but you cannot make them yourself. Like, that's usually a quest reward type of item. Oh gosh, we don't have enough food because all of our cooks are dying, right? Because Steve is our cook and Steve is dying of the plague. Steve has... my god, we might actually lose too many people from the plague. Maybe we just need to buy slaves. If we buy slaves, would that be enough? Because the problem right now is I actually can't make any food. Garm's the other cook, but Garm's also dying of the plague. And Garm's quality of life is like way worse right now, so I have to make sure we can tend to that. Oh my goodness, we're just not gonna have food. Make the pain stop. Okay. Yeah, so you'll be fine. Everyone else I have to worry about. Okay, so why don't we have you rest temporarily? No. Yes. And then we need to tend to Garm immediately. Steve's gonna be fine. I'm gonna have you preach health to Garm. Improve Garm's chance of surviving. 25%, so that's at least a little bit higher. Okay, so my thinking is I don't think I can capture both of these. I just don't have enough resources to maintain both of them. Yeah. Well, Zeoposer's supposed to be the builder. You're the colony doctor, because Ray's also a doctor, but she's kind of overworked and also doesn't have, you know, is kind of missing a good chunk of her fingers. Okay, so I will allow the usage of standard medicine for this. Let's get people into beds real quick, and then we're gonna have you pretend the Garm. Garm gets the full-size medicine. Okay. And then okay, you'll be fine. You'll probably be fine. So Ronnie's the next one who needs to get tended to, so we're gonna have you tend to yourself. Okay. Also, every time I turn around these... Okay, you know what? These prisoners are getting a little ridiculous. I cannot stand them. This one is plasteel plate armor. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a Ronnie get back over there. Did you tend to yourself yet? Good. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, you're gonna be the primary pawn here because I don't have my fancy doctor pawn. Alright. I didn't even realize this person has some crazy gear, so what I'm gonna do is... Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go here. I'm gonna take you. We're gonna strip you of all your gear. At least the important ones. Okay, and then this one also, we're gonna strip that king's robe off of you. Perfect. Okay, so you can go back, and then I'm gonna give Ray this plasteel armor, because Ray is one of our strongest frontline characters with that super heavy gear. And then let's haul this one out of here, and then also want her to get that tabard, and then we're gonna give Ziryu this cool king's robe. Okay. Everyone tended to. You're fine, probably. You're less fine, but you'll survive. That's not good. Let's get Skypion tended to. Garm has a decent amount of doctoring skill. That's a 7.5. Alright, I think Skypion might be dead here. I forget to strip prisoners all the time. That's kind of the main reason. I really should just remember to give prisoners some very nasty clothes as like, this is your punishment for rising up against me. Here's your rags. Alright, and then Arani is obviously super overworked and dying. Still of the plague. I am out of the fancy medicine. We will have to probably glitter world medicine now to survive. Otherwise we will die. We still need to haul these corpses around. That's not even been stripped yet. Let's quickly strip this one and get it out of there before everyone dies of the toxic fumes. Okay, just haul this one out of here. You'll be fine. And Garm is now yelling at everyone. Oh my gosh, we really are entering a death spiral. Oh, the classic. Well, I mean, if this colony dies, we may just move into Nekograd early, or we'll do like a 4-week special colony. And we'll see how that one pans out instead. Oh, I had a crazy idea for Nekograd, actually. But I'm not gonna say it right now, but I still want to say that it will involve space. But it might not be what you're expecting it to be. And I think it'll be kind of, it'll be fun. I think it'll be fun. I think the only thing is I have to ask Alana to make certain, like a few assets to give. Just astronaut helmets, but with cat ears, and I think we'd be good to go. Listen, it's the only way. Listen, cat. If they're gonna be cats in space, they need the cat ear space helmets. It's the only thing we need. Into this pawn. Well, hopefully your pawn survives. If your pawn dies, then that's just the way the game rolls, right? Cats in space are gonna be fun. The problem is, so the biggest issue right now is that 7.5 might not be enough to survive. Ziryu is doing what they can to live. I'm probably sure you'll survive. Infidave has gotten food poisoning because... Oh! We're feeding corpses! Oh, geez. Okay, so we're not actually making... Because we can't cook food. Because all of our cooks are incapacitated. Oh. Because Garm's a cook and incapacitated. Steve is a cook, but is having a mental breakdown. Alright, I need Steve to just cook food. I thought I had a stockpile of food. We really don't have a stockpile of food. But now that it's winter, maybe we can... Now that we have electricity, we should probably start working on maybe refrigerating some meals. If we have time. But again, Steve isn't very good of a cook due to the fact that his brain has a significant injury. He's pretty brain damaged. And also all of our crops are breaking down too, so I didn't even get all my cotton that I was hoping to get. Oh, this sucks. Oh no, look at all those potatoes that we didn't get to harvest. Oh, it's so sad. Alright, there, we're getting some food. Okay. Well, like I said, it would be nice to have backups of backups of backups, but when we're only running around... Normally these colonies have like 15 to 20 colonists. And it's a lot easier to operate when you have a lot of colonists. But for some reason, we just are not getting people in this run. And that's becoming the biggest problem. And Steve is down. Due to the plague. Okay. So now we gotta get him out of there. And now we have to have someone else cook food. Where's Arani? I think Arani's also dying of the plague still, right? Yep. Mm-hmm. You'll be fine. So I think you gotta finish cooking. If Steve can't cook, you have to cook. And oh, you know what we need? Hold on. We need food cooking options that don't require active participation. I think there was a few options. I could have sworn there used to be like a giant... Oh, here, a boil pot. No. What's Ligma? Ligma bales. Oh, I think that was another mod. There used to be a mod that allows you to have like a soup pot where you can just leave ingredients in there and you can just cook it and you'll come back to it later. I can't be ended. I control this. You think I'm just gonna be ended that easily? I control everything here. I am the god of this realm. I control the reality. Oh, it might have been vanilla expanded soups. Yeah, that actually might have been the mod. I think Arani should hopefully be free of that plague soon. Because unfortunately we're cooking super slow because of the temperature. So we gotta find a way to also just give some light in here too. There's a little bit of light maybe, makes it a little bit better. I like the VS soups because I'll play prep soup in batches and walking so cook them on station. It does make sense. I thought I used to run it, but I think it got cold when I did the whole like... Because remember when I used to run with like 200 plus mods, and then I did a great culling of the mod list, and it brought me down to like 150, 140. I think VE Soups was one of the sacrifices of that time period. And so I'm looking through my mod list and like, yeah, that probably was one of the great sacrifices. Hello there, Itsuka. How are you doing, comrade? Like for the next colony, I will definitely do another like decision point of like, what do I actually want to keep around? Probably end up keeping... Like, I definitely want to throw back Combat Extended. I do like Combat Extended quite a bit. And so we'll be back with our World War II guns in space, and I think that'll be a lot of fun. But for now, we just gotta find a way to survive this. I am very much considering that that multi-floor mod for the spaceship, but that's a different issue. Trust me, I was looking at the Frostpunk colony with the generator quest line. It looked really cool. I definitely want to do a run with that mod. Now, maybe not immediately. It kind of depends to see if the quest line is fully finished. But I think the next one we're probably going to be touching on Grav Ships Expanded, or whatever they're calling it. I'm going to pretend I didn't read that. Oh, you played it? Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I'll definitely give it a look, as long as there's a definitive ending, because one of my biggest issues with like a lot of these Rimworld fun quest lines that they don't have a definitive end. Chat on the YouTube side. Be very careful about mentioning personal identifying information like what could be your age is all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Also, people are starving. Okay, so who's starving? Probably these two, right? Okay. Oh, life-threatening malnutrition. Got it. Okay, we gotta feed this guy. Don't want him to die. Don't worry about it. There's nothing you have to worry about it. You were kidding? Okay, well, I saw it, and that's why I was concerned. He basically said that he was like getting ready to graduate 8th grade, and I'm like, that sounds weird. Like, I feel like I'd have to ban you from this channel. Not that there's anything wrong with children, but I don't really want to be responsible for making sure that whatever I say is appropriate for an 8th grader. Time does fly. Oh, trust me. It gets worse. You're Dracula. You're 12 million years old. If you're 12 million years old, can you tell us all about the before times, before the internet? What was life like before things like TikToks and the YouTubes and the Instagrams and the Snapchats and the Twitters and the Tumblrs and the Yahoos and the Ask Jeeves and the Dig and the Reddits and the I'm like trying to come up with like old websites, the 2chans. Right, please, I need this thing built. Is the opposer ready to finally start building things? We're not going to research anything for a little bit. I just want to focus on getting everything built up so that we're not dying again, because holy cow, we lost so much. Trying to get everything prepared. Arani's been cooking non-stop and hasn't even had a chance to consume the very food that she has been cooking the whole time. What a brave and noble warrior. And ran out of power in the middle of construction. Great. Achieving the higher tier action of something futures. Oh, okay. I mean, that's an ending enough. I mean, a lot of times when we do these runs, we're kind of flexible with our endings, right? We decide ultimately what the ending is. You know what I still want to do? I mentioned this before, but I still think the one thing I really hope that I'll have an opportunity to do as a Rimworld, as not just a Rimworld term, but like a general person who streams strategy games. I want to be able to do a Paradox Grand campaign. I think with EU5 having come out, one, I still need to play EU5, but I'm not going to buy it at the current price. I would love to get my hands on it and learn the game and then do a full campaign all the way from, you know, 890 in CK3 to 1940, you know, 1950 in Hoi 4. And I think that'd be a really cool concept to just kind of navigate the story of a single family / country as it evolves over time. Time to play Minecraft, but in Japanese. Good luck, because this mod pack has a lot of stuff in it, and I hope you're able to survive. The mod pack is fairly easy to get into, but it's when you start getting into the more complex stuff that it gets a little nutty. Can't feel geothermal and atomic. I would just go for atomic. Listen, I love the concept of atomic. And all of our crops are dying. That's what I was afraid of. All of our stuff is not going to survive the winter, even though these are ready to be harvested. Yeah. Okay, so we can at least get this built hopefully quickly, because this thing is full, right? Yep. Almost full anyways. Okay. So, everyone survived everyone survived the plague. for now. It's just a matter of getting everything built. But Zeoposer and Iranian are like the only ones that are capable of building anything. One of them is depressed because pain, being insulted, lack of recreation, clothes are tattered and deteriorating all the time. We gotta find new sets of threads, but there's not really much to go off of. What do you mean? Wait, no. You mean not uranium? Is there another option? Wood, arc, then chem fuel, then you choose between nuclear and geothermal. Oh, okay, so it's like a progression. Got it. You're studying Rimworld lore. What do you mean nothing makes sense in the Rimworld lore? Rimworld lore, you have to remember, it's a sci-fi universe. A lot of it doesn't, I mean, a lot of it seems like it makes sense to me, but I can understand if it maybe doesn't make sense to you, depending on your understanding of Rimworld. Hmm. You know what, I think the other reason why we don't have a lot of pawns, I think this this event stuff is just not giving us anything about colonists is the other major issue. It's the illusion of choice. I really wish that I thought there was a way to make it specifically say what the event is, but it's always just been neutral, good, or neutral. And that's kind of been my biggest problem with this this mod, and I have no idea how to make it actually say what is the event, you know what I mean? I think it'd be nice if it could tell me what the event was. Let's see. Yeah. I don't know. What's Tinnerers? Is that a mod name? Dr. Dorothy Macaroni? Trust me, I've come up with weirder names. Oh! Tickers in EU are in Japanese? Oh... You know what? It's good for you. You'll learn Japanese better, right? Hi, Riston. How are you? Good morning. Or wait, isn't it like? Hold on. You're like plus. Hold on. I'm -5. So you're like +2 or 3. So that would put you at about 7 a.m. Okay, that's right. Okay, I was pretty sure. I was like, yeah. Good morning. Are you eating? Are you eating your brekkie or getting ready for your day of whatever it is you're doing? Just gotta get these corpses here. 12 a.m. for you. Yeah, usually this is like the late hour. I'm very much a late day streamer. I'm debating if I want to end a little bit earlier just so I can get some good sleep, because I do have to get up a little early tomorrow because I still have to go do things. I have to physically go into an office and do work, which is boring and painful, but it's things that I gotta do to make money. Being a VTuber unfortunately does not pay the bills that much. As much as I wish that being a VTuber paid me lots of fat stacks of cash, unfortunately it is not the case. And I think for most people that is also the same thing. It's just not really feasible to make money as a VTuber unless you know exactly. Also, I'm gonna change Series Zen's face. I don't like your non-anime face. Let's give you an anime face real quick. There we go, much better, more appropriate. We'll give you that one. Excellent. Less eating, more rating. Ooh, I'm assuming you've been playing a lot of the new DLC, right? I played the DLC on stream, but I haven't had a chance to really play it much since then, so I probably won't be playing it until after I come back from Canada, when I'll really be in the mood for raiding and pillaging like a true Canadian would. As we all know, apparently, every time I mention like World War II and Canada stuff to Ray's like, yeah, but did you know that the Geneva Conventions were made because of the Canadians? I'm like, I don't know why this is a fun fact, but okay, I guess. Like, she's very proud of the fact that Canadians are war criminals in some regard. I just think it's really funny every time she mentions it. Oh my gosh, who's our other cook? Garm's the other cook, right? Alright, Garm, get cooking. We need food. Time to start making food. Everything else doesn't matter. We need food. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I keep forgetting to feed the prisoners. Every time I turn around, the prisoners are dying because I'm forgetting to feed them. Oh my goodness. Oh. Every time I'm always forgetting to feed them. Alright. Let's get them fed. The Barani's the warden. Except now it's Steve. Alright, let's feed this guy real quick. Don't feel they should have been following the law, TBH. I mean, yeah, it'd be easy to say they should be following the law, but they've just kind of been stuck in this room, dying, without clothes, slowly but surely losing their sanity. You know what? Hold on. This guy, Peon, needs a lung. I want to recruit them, but they refuse to get recruited, and that's the biggest issue I'm running into. Because they just don't want to be recruited. Yeah. You've done some great money with smithing and own a great boat. You're invading the Mongols as the Nords as the Finns do. First two castles one time was gifted to you. Building your own little Fingolian duchy inside of the Nord Kingdom. That's pretty good, honestly. I'm glad you're having fun. I definitely want to play more of it in the future, but maybe on my own personal time instead of stream. I definitely need a... I feel like I'm getting a lot more picky about like what I stream rather than playing a variety of different things that just seem interesting. So I'm hoping that doing something even like Long Dark will be at least a nice little change of pace from the usual. And you all get to watch me pretend like I know how to survive against the wilderness. I don't know if we'll do story mode or if we'll do the sandbox freeform mode. I guess kind of depends what I'm feeling up to doing. Not sure yet. But we'll see. I think it'll be fine. But if there's always something you want me to play, again, don't forget, there's always Discord, and you can always just post something in the suggestions channel, and I will always take a look. Like I saw this game called, someone suggested this, Space Warlord Baby Trading Simulator. I'm like, what is this game and why does this exist? It's not even out yet, there's only a demo, but apparently you can trade space babies. Because it's made by the same people who made the Space Organ Trading Simulator type thing. And I know there's a bunch of other ones like My Summer Car and its sequel, My Winter Car, have been suggested a few times as well. It's your mom against this war run by Canadian. Yeah, I mean, okay, Canadians are they're very tough individuals, right? It makes a lot of sense. Actually, the other one I've been wanting to maybe play, if we ever want to do something silly, is a game called The Trolley Situation, where it's about like the trolley problem, which could be kind of a fun, cute little side adventure. The only other one I mentioned the other day was I want to do Red Dawn, probably, which is like anime XCOM. Cute anime XCOM, and we'll probably do that after the new year. So, I just want to say, probably after the new year, we'll do some more stuff. And I'll have a nice, heartfelt message. Actually, I'll probably do that before I end stream today. I'll give myself like another 15-20 minutes. I am getting a little sleepy. So, we'll see. Okay, come on. Build me this. Oh, it is winter now. Oh, jeez. I don't know how we're gonna survive the winter. Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna survive this winter with the lack of... We didn't hunt a lot of food, but we mostly have potatoes, which is good. We could hunt more dinosaurs down to get the leathers. Probably our best option is to go trade, but now that it's winter, it's a lot harder to trade. And the trading caravans... The Merchants Guild has not arrived anytime in quite some time. Yeah. This kingdom hates us. This kingdom likes us, but they're a little bit of a further walk away. Maybe we should just buy slaves. Speaking of XCOM, Tactical I actually played Tactical Breach Wizards on stream, like, the week it came out. Because I was actually looking forward to that game quite significantly, so I bought it. I played it, and I was like, this game is great! And I had a lot of fun with it, so I thought it was really cool. 10 out of 10 game. Would definitely recommend playing again. Recommend it to people if you like having a cute little funny haha story, and also just having Tactical Breach Wizards in your games. That's really all I can say about Tactical Breach Wizards. I know I finished it. I finished the main campaign on stream. I didn't do the secondary or side missions, and I didn't go for perfect on every mission, but I did finish the main campaign on stream. I know there was like a lot of other additional content, but I didn't do those. Did they ever make any DLC for that game? I was actually kind of curious. Now I'm kind of curious if they ever did. Nope, they never really made any DLC. It's like a one and done, fully complete game. Fantastic. You know what I need? I need a game like XCOM, but it's just all mechas. XCOM with mechas would be fantastic. I would love that type of game where I can customize the loadout of every single mecha type deal. I'm sure that game exists, but I just never bothered looking for it. I think the only other thing that I would really want to stream one day, but I don't think is really a type of thing that maybe people want to watch, is Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater Delta. Because I love Metal Gear, but I'm not sure if people want to watch Metal Gear. Because Metal Gear kind of turns into like a movie more than anything else. And it's very much like a cinematic style game. That's the main reason why I've never really played that on stream. You're gonna head to bed. Don't tell Canada. Trust me, I can't stop Canada. Have a good night. Thanks for swinging by. You're here for it? Yeah, I'm glad that you'll be at least interested. You'd pay to see me try and read my way through Dracula Flow script. I don't know what the Dracula Flow script is. I guess Battletech, but Battletech's not turn-based, isn't it? I thought it was like a real time with pauses. Or maybe I'm misremembering. I don't know. Great, more pawns are having mental breakdowns every 5 seconds. That's what I like to see. Everyone's just in pain and suffering. Oh, Jesus. Oh, yeah, I removed that redeem a while ago. I'm sorry, because I wasn't really like keeping up with it, and I didn't want to have a redeem that I'm not, well, keeping up with there, because it's just not fair to people who would be interested in it. Oh, let's turn basically out of my quarters. Oh, maybe I'm mixing them up. Okay. I think I was mixing them up. I played Battletech at some point on my own personal time. Okay, I'm gonna look up Dracula Flow. Dracula Flow, what is this? It's the first single released by Plumcore Records. Contains 3 songs, series YouTube videos, and okay. We straight gassin', cutting straight to the bricks, haha. This ain't nothing to me, man. We smoking runts. Shorty got a BBL, took that shit out because she couldn't. What is this song? I'm not gonna read this. I don't know what this is. I'm not gonna read it. You can have me read things, but I'm gonna look at it first and question if this is even appropriate. It's not a song. Is it like a rap or is it like poetry? It reads like it's supposed to be some kind of like rap. I'm not a rapper. I need to emphasize that very clearly. Okay, I'm probably the worst person to do a rap. Oh, he's saying it ad-lib? Huh. Let's crack this door open here. I want to make sure we can get our utility room over here set up, so that's going to be batteries. Time to get some power going in this colony. I think we've learned electricity. We might as well actually make use of electricity. I can fit about 3 batteries in there, so that's about... what is that? 140 times 3, so that's what, 420... 420 steel and 12 components? I don't know if we have enough components. We definitely have enough steel. Take care of a Nanosaurus for 12 days and I will be awarded 3 honor. 3 honor for taking care of a tiny dinosaur pet thing. Rap is poetry. I mean, it depends. Rap can be poetry, but it really depends. Like, I don't like listening to a lot of rap. But a good rap song can really... or good hip-hop. Like, I like Shingo 2 and Nujabes and, like, their more lyrical, jazzy hip-hop MC work more than anything else. If you ever listen to it. Things like Lovesick, where it's got, like, a very smooth, gentle flow. I think, like, Lovesick Part 2 was, like, one of my favorite songs of all time. Like, I even remember how it goes, like, you know, once again now, where do I start? Dear love, dumbstruck with the pure luck to find you here. Every morning I wake from a cavernous night, sometimes still pondering the previous plight. Seems life done changed, seems life done changed, long time no speak. Nowadays I often forget the day of the week. Yeah, that, like, something like that one is a really good song. I wish I don't have the lyrical flow, unfortunately, to rap or to be an MC. I'm sorry, I'm very boring. I'm a very bland individual with who can only survive, whose only redeeming quality is being able to talk for 4 hours on a platform like Twitch and YouTube. I am very grateful that, you know, a lot of you find me entertaining enough to sit here and, you know, probably keep me on as background noise while you go do other things. Like, I do appreciate that you're willing to spend your time here. And that, to me, I think is a pretty cool Christmas present, to just have your you know, existence here and just listening to me, because I never really thought I'd ever find even like a modicum of success as a VTuber, and I think I found some success, at least in my own little tiny corner of this internet. And I you know, I'm happy. I appreciate it, even though I'm very much just like a random yapper who talks about way too, like, I tend to gravitate towards the same topics all the time, but we all tend to like the same topics anyway, so it all works out in the end. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? And I hope next year, at least, that I'll be able to find some... I'll at least like to be, you know, do my best to still be entertaining going into 2026. And hopefully another year of being a VTuber. I don't have any plans on quitting anytime soon. Left and right, you'll see VTubers come and go, but they ain't getting rid of me yet. I'm still here for the long run. Maybe I'll quit if I ever have my own live 3D concert, and then that'll be like, you know what, I've peaked. Time to hang up the coat and move on with life. Or maybe that'll be the start of my singing career, and I won't just be a VTuber. I'll be an idol. It'll time for me to be the first Babiniku VTuber idol, singing beautiful renditions of love pop songs, because at this point, why not? Who knows? Anything is possible, right? You never know what could happen next. We gotta get rid of these flop hats at some point. Holy cow, there's so many flop hats. So, anyways, that's just like a random tangent. I know it's not the most exciting tangents, but I just want to at least say that out loud, especially as we're approaching Christmas time. Want to at least say thanks to hanging around with me. You do a 3D concert, retire as VTuber, and dedicate myself to pre-developing SRPGs and CRPGs. I probably would legitimately probably do that. Like, if I retired, I would probably just focus on becoming like either developing games or writing a light novel. No, trust me, I know I need a lot of work before my singing is bad. You don't think I know that? I know that my singing is awful. I'm well aware of how bad I sound in front of a microphone, and there's a reason why I don't ever do song covers. I think I would need a really good audio engineer to make myself sound acceptable. Oh no, I used to write web novels. It was fantasy. I think there was like a sci-fi one, kind of. It was like a modern sci-fi, but it was a very light... I used to be into this thing called cell phone novels, and there was a website where you could write English cell phone novels, which was mostly just like very small, short-form prose that was like maybe 1 or 2 paragraphs at a time. But that was like... There used to be a website for it too. I think it was like called Text Novel. But that website died a couple of years ago. But I still have my original work from it stored somewhere, and I ended up uploading it to Royal Road at some point. And yeah, if I ever had a lot more free time, I'd definitely be writing a lot more on Royal Road. Maybe I can still find time to do that while I'm still streaming. Like, maybe just dedicate like a little bit of time a week and just write and see what I could maybe spit out. Maybe I could... I've always wanted to become a light novel author and, you know, get published at some point, but I have a tendency to abandon projects. I think is my biggest flaw. I will be in the middle of trying to do some project, and then I just ultimately just drop it for one reason or another, and then I never get to where I want to be with said project, and it's always tragic. It's always so sad. I don't know what you want to call it, but I definitely jump between projects far too often. It's unfortunate. Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one who has the tendency to swap projects and jump projects like that. Oh, look, another vote. What's it gonna be? Yeah, it's a lot of like perfectionism and procrastination, and I know it's the same thing with art, but it's like when you have that blank sheet of paper in front of you and you're trying to get, or blank page in front of you and trying to get something down and you just don't know where to start. I think once you get started, it becomes a lot easier to start working. And once you're able to get past that initial hurdle, that's when I kind of start entering my flow state and I can get things done. But getting the first initial words down is difficult. Also, have a good night, Garm. I hope you have a good rest. Come back tomorrow for the final stream of 2025. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. What time is it? Actually, it is... I'll stay a little bit longer. I'll give myself another 5 minutes. Are you still alive? Yes, you're still very much alive. A lot of everyone basically survived. We're now in winter, and we're just trying to survive the winter. We have enough food to live, but we're basically just eating potatoes and potatoes and potatoes and just potatoes. I'm on your top 5 watch on Twitch or on YouTube. Regardless, awesome. I love it when people say that I'm on their top viewed. Like when I was seeing everyone's Twitch recaps and I was like in their top 5s, I was like, oh my god, some people care about me. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a top 5. It's beautiful. I don't think you understand like how weird it is to just have people say that like they actually enjoy watching you do things. Like to me, it's still such a weird thing to think about, right? I think it's very strange to me as an individual to hear that and to see that reflected in like people's, you know, statistics. Someone who basically just played video games for a long time and still plays video games forever, and I'm still an adult who plays video games, and I'm an adult who's married and will probably eventually have to reduce the amount of time I play video games in the future one day when I eventually have children, and try to avoid having those kids know about me being a VTuber. That, you know, it's something to think about. It's very interesting. Unless I turn that kid into a VTuber. Actually, no. You know what's funny? I remember seeing there is this VTuber woman in Japan who I think her whole, like, one of the big things about her was that she's like a single mother operating as a VTuber. And then when her kid grew up to be a toddler, like old enough, I think she gave the kid like her own VTuber model and joined her mother, and then that kid joined her mother on like a virtual stage for like a 3D live concert. And I was like, that is adorable. That's great. But that kid's also gonna grow up with like a digital like second life, and it's just like, ooh, how is that gonna affect their psyche as they grow up? Who knows? That's the question we all should be wondering, huh? That's the question I'm wondering. It'll be interesting. I don't know how I'm gonna explain to a young child what a VTuber is. So anyways, yeah, so they're gonna look at me and they're like, why are you an anime girl on the internet? Don't ask questions, kiddo, just accept it. Just accept it. That'll be a very awkward conversation to have in the future, won't it? Yeah. But no, I don't think they'll never know. They'll just wonder why I retreat to my personal computer a few times a week for a couple hours at a time before I come out and then read them a bedtime story. That'll be the deep lore. Hit him with the answer. I'd be like, you know what, Yoko Taro is so based for that. He's so true, Yoko Taro. You know what's so funny? I remember seeing like why Yoko Taro just lets anyone collab with Nier. Like basically like a lot of gacha games will have like 2B and 9S and like any other characters from his franchises. And it's basically, his answer was basically, oh, I just like money. He's willing to sell his characters to like whatever game wants them as long as he gets paid cash. What's the first game I teach my Pokemon? I'd probably teach them Pokemon first. If they're old enough to understand Pokemon, like realistically, I'd probably just show them Pokemon. Otherwise, give them Mario Kart. It's easy enough to understand how to drive a car, you know, or Tetris. They can start developing their brain early. Yeah, it's Tetris, Pokemon, or Mario Kart. One of those. It's easy. I wouldn't start them with Minecraft. Minecraft is actually way more complicated than you would think. Minecraft is incredibly complex. And then after that, I would just be like, all right, kiddo, here's Fire Emblem. Good luck. Because actually, I was playing games like, I remember like one of the earliest CRPGs that I played a long time ago was, what's the bloody thing called? Like Shining Force. I was playing Shining Force back when I was like 5. I was not very good at it, but it was a game that I definitely was playing. And so I love games like that. Fortnite, I'm not gonna teach. They're not gonna allow. They're not touching Fortnite. I don't think Ray would allow them to touch Fortnite. You're reading by age 2.5. I think I was about the same thing too. I was reading really far ahead of schedule when I was a kid. And I know I mentioned it before, but there was a time when the public education system thought I was retarded because I wasn't talking in class, and then they put me in summer school. Then they had to apologize to my mom and take me out of summer school when they realized I was reading about like 3 or 4 grade levels above where I was supposed to be. Because I just didn't talk because I didn't want to talk, but I was just a really good reader. Which I thought was very funny, and they had to apologize to my mother because it's like, oh, whoopsies. We made a mistake. Yeah, the more you know. Yeah, no, I wasn't an idiot. I was just very quiet, which I think applies to basically a lot of people here too. You know, you just don't want to talk to people, but you just like to read. That was me. So I think it's a very common thing. Did I get yogurt? What's yogurt? I don't like yogurt. I'm not a fan of yogurt, personally. Okay. Yeah, being the quiet kid definitely has its pros and cons, and I think that's just kind of like the pros and the cons of, well, being the quiet kid. Alright. Yeah. Hopefully none of you ever had that experience, but it's one of those memories that just remain in my head where it's like, oh yeah, this used to be an actual thing that I had to deal with. Oh no, I didn't get that secret character then for sure. I don't even think I finished Shining Force back in the day, but I definitely remember some parts of Shining Force, and that was not one of it. I remember getting like the monk. I remember being really bad at the game because I was 5 and I didn't really understand game strategy other than big number go boom. But I eventually started getting with Fire Emblem. I remember my very first playthrough of Fire Emblem. My very first playthrough of Fire Emblem. I think I had like half the cast die, and then I basically went into the final mission using like Marcus and Athos to win because I was like 8 and I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew enough to win the game somehow. Have I tried Octopath? Yes, I like Octopath Traveler a lot. Played Octopath Traveler 1. I didn't play 2 or 0. I plan on getting 2 for the Switch 2 at some point whenever I can get a decent deal on it. And then I'll probably do the same thing with 0, although I think 0 is a Switch 2 and not Switch 1 game. But I do enjoy it. Vertical feels so weird, but so seamless with the mobile Twitch UI. It is, right? Are you watching on mobile now? So, fun fact, Twitch does not by default allow you to do the vertical stream. It's actually something you have to opt in for. And I have to create the stream setup for vertical separate from horizontal and upload them together at the same time. So, fun fact, I guess. Yeah, Nintendo's never gonna get a decent deal. That's never how it is. You always have to use Athos, technically. Because you give him Luna and he can just kind of one-shot the dragon. But yeah. Well, I hope you're enjoying the vertical UI, because I've been doing the vertical stream in addition to the normal stream for about like 2 weeks now. Initially, I thought I was just gonna test it on like... Initially, I thought it was gonna be an issue and I could only run it when I'm doing Rimworld, but turns out I can basically do whatever game and it's generally okay. I only lose about like I only lose like 3 or 4, 5 frames per second, which is generally fine. But if I'm playing something intensive like modded Minecraft, then it becomes a little bit of a problem. Fire Emblem mobile. Good God, I don't even know how to describe this. Yes, so technically there is a mobile Fire Emblem game. It is called Fire Emblem Heroes. It's a gacha game. I played it when it first came out. that game has undergone about a decade's worth of power creep that I cannot in any good conscience recommend you play that game. It is so bad with how bad the amount of text that you have to read to play the game has gotten. Okay, you want to... I bring up this example all the time. The amount of text in a single ability is just insane. So back in the day, you'd have abilities in Fire Emblem Heroes that were like one sentence, and it'd be like, this character does bonus damage equal to their speed, right? And then now you have things like this, or it's like an entire it's like a Yu-Gi-Oh card on steroids, to the point where it's like, you're like, what's the point? Like, a lot of this is keywords, obviously, but there's just so much to digest here that I cannot in any way recommend this game, because this is just like another example of the sheer amount of power creep that's going on in this this. I mean, you can just go by feels if you want, but I don't recommend. You can't use you can't use follower emotes on mobile on Vertical, really? That's weird. I might need to look into that. That's super odd, though. I think this one, right? That's a follower emote. Let's see. Are you following? Yeah, you're following. I don't know why you're not able to use the emotes. That's super odd. That's really weird. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, yeah, don't play Fire Emblem Heroes. There actually was another Fire Emblem gacha game called like Fire Emblem Shadows or something. I don't remember, but it's like, it's super janky and I never touch it. So I actually am not able to upload emotes to YouTube right now. The only way I can start uploading emotes to YouTube is I need to become monetized on the platform. And the only way to become monetized is I need to hit 500 subscribers. Like, that's the minimum. I have the watch hours, 4,800, but I would need 500 viewers, and I think I can start adding emotes at that point. Unfortunately, that's just the way YouTube does things, where they kind of require a certain amount of stuff. And I don't make long form content on YouTube yet, so eventually at some point I will, and that'll probably make it easier to get, subscribers on YouTube, but just haven't gotten around to doing that because I've been a little lazy and I've been doing a lot of other things. Oh yeah, FEH always has a lot of bikini waifu armor, whatever you want. Listen, it's a Japanese gacha game. You're always gonna have swimsuit characters. That's just a part of the course. Whether or not you want to embrace the swimsuit aesthetic is up to you. Do I recommend it? Just don't play Fire Emblem Heroes. Like, I cannot recommend it. It was fun when I played at the start, and now I just kind of use it because it's basically brand new official art of characters that I like, because I like some characters in Fire Emblem. Big fan of characters like Myrrh and Nino and Lysithea. So, there's cool, fun character arts, but that's about it. Okay, let's see. It is a little late now, isn't it? All right. Who's alive at this hour? Let's see. Plus, it's canon in some of your fan interests. What do you mean the swimsuits are canon in your fan interests? What does that mean? What does that mean? Okay, here we go. I think... Alright, I think we will raid this person. We're gonna raid Ubi-chan, who is playing Tingus Goose, whatever this game is, which I think I've seen before, and it's like the really weird, vaguely suggestive game about gooses and certain things that they do. Anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed probably the final Rimworld stream of 2025. We didn't build any new things, but we're just trying to survive and research things as we progress. Hopefully you had fun. We'll continue the run, obviously, in about 2 weeks when I return. At least for Rimworld. And then tomorrow is going to be the vote, the final vote of 2025. What game will we play? Who knows? But tomorrow, there will be options, and it is up to you to decide what adventure will be going on for 2025, to end the year. All right. Have a good night, everyone. I hope you enjoyed, and I will be back tomorrow for the pre-Christmas stream. Right. Say hi to Hoobie. Hoobie's a good lad. And then I'm probably gonna play some Battlefield and then pass out. Okay, bye everyone. Good night. And again, I appreciate all of you coming by and saying bye. I also thanks Santa again for the gift of $30 dues. I will use that to eat sushi with Ray. Goodbye.